Texas won't let me in. I ain't gonna be here long. Not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, long. I ain't gonna be here long. But my heart it sure ain't pumping like it used to do. Lord knows I bump my leg and it turns black and blue. Yes, it does. Now they say that it's unhealthy the way that I live. My liver's gone, my lungs are shot, my heart's about to give. But I ain't gonna let that bother me, no. 'Cause I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna let that bother me, none, oh Lord. 'Cause I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna be here long. Not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. I ain't gonna be here long. Ain't gonna be here long. No, not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son.
And welcome to Fren Report Live. This is Fren Report Live number 17. Returning to the show, I have Johnny Ketamine with me tonight.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
And we have Mr. Trucker Fren with us for his first time on the show.
Good evening.
Welcome. Welcome to my humble abode. So, just before the show started, I came out, apparently the Trump campaign team had released a statement saying Sidney Powell wasn't on the Trump legal team, that she was operating on her own. And that's very strange, to say the least. I can't think of why they would do that. Like, because she was definitely like part of all the shit, like, you know, on all the press conferences and everything, and you know, so we'll have to see what's going on with that, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll check her Twitter account and see if she said anything about it. But because she was the one going on about all the Kraken and everything, you know what I mean? And and for them to like now distance themselves from her, weird. Apparently, she had a tweet that was something happened there. And they didn't mention Lynn Wood at all, which is pretty interesting. But she had a tweet there, and now it says the tweet is no longer available. And that's the only thing in the last 17 hours. Which is really weird because it's on her feed. Like, you know, they usually just delete it. It doesn't just have a thing there that says this tweet is no longer available. Don't know what to make of that either. That's some weird shit. Definitely some weird shit going on.
Yeah.
You guys got any ideas on that? I don't really know what to make of it.
No idea.
I also have no idea. I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it just came out, so I guess we'll wait and see.
Let's see, this is actually 46 minutes ago.
Yeah, like I said, it was like right before the show.
Ouch.
All right, Leroy Demond over here says Powell might be goading Dominion into suing her for defamation, so they don't want to be associated with her. I could see that. That kind of makes sense. Because that would get it into the court. You know what I mean? If she wants to make it a matter of court record, you know. Because Dominion, like, she was definitely onto something because they came out with it. Dominion was supposed to testify in Pennsylvania, and all of a sudden, poof, they backed out of that. And all the Dominion people started deleting their social medias and everything. It's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah, Frog Rampant's saying that Sidney Powell is part of General Flynn's legal team, which I knew that. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. But speaking of fucking weird, like in Michigan, this came out today, or I guess it was yesterday actually, but it's pretty late last night. About the time we finished the show last night, I guess. But the Michigan Attorney General calls for criminal charges against GOP certifiers who won't fall in line. So basically, they're suggesting that Republicans who oppose certification or even meet with Donald Trump on the issue should be criminally investigated or charged. That's pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely onto something in Michigan, that's for sure. Like, but they're trying to threaten them, like fucking charging them with crime. Like, what crime would they even be committing? That's fucking retarded.
The crime of being on the other side.
Right?
Ain't that the truth, though?
Yeah. Nope.
Based on the bribery theory, the danger for Shirky and Chatfield then is that they are being visibly invited to a meeting where the likely agenda involves the felony of attempting to bribe. No, see, you had to prove that. See, this is something that's bugging the fuck out of me. They're like, oh, where's your proof of fucking fraud? You don't need proof of fraud. The burden is a preponderance of evidence to stop the certification. And when it comes to something like this, they have a burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. And, just because they go to a meeting, they're fucking politicians going to a meeting with the president. It's not fucking, you'd have to show that something. What's that?
I'm just looking at the pictures Trucker put in the chat.
Oh, yeah, it is some funny shit.
Agent Hitler, FBI.
Yeah, exactly, Roy. Talking about the crime of doing their job.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Yeah, exactly. Bah.
Mexican ambassador lectures America about immigration. Demands we accept more of every migrant category. Fuck you. You do it. Mexico, that has a wall with the border of fucking Guatemala there, don't they? Oh. Almost forgot. There was a video I wanted to show here today. Let me pull that up. Oh yeah, there's another crazy thread I want to go through tonight too. A couple of them actually. Let me find this video. But yeah, this is some bullshit I saw earlier today. It's talking about the ADL law enforcement training shit. How the ADL works with our law enforcement, which is some serious bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
No, that's not concerning in the least bit.
No, not at all. Especially considering I was just talking about how I'm on one of their lists right before the show.
Yeah.
All right, let's play this shit. Oh, Sugar, you don't know, you won't be able to hear it in the Zoom chat. So if you got YouTube open, like maybe mute the Zoom and listen to it on YouTube or something. Would be your best bet.
I quickly recognized their focus is actually humanity.
I witnessed firsthand how Israel routinely targets unarmed Palestinians with force.
There was a period of time when our transgendered community had some concerns with the way that we were policing their community. And the Anti-Defamation League was actually called in to kind of do an evaluation. And the recommendations that came out of that we implemented have made us a better police department.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
If you're not aware that you have these biases and work on those to keep them in check.
We're not telling people what to think. We're just trying to show them how.
The case of David Irving. He's a British historian who was sentenced to 3 years in prison by an Austrian court for speeches he made in 1989 denying the Holocaust.
Thousands of law enforcement officials from all corners of the country have traveled to Israel to learn police strategies and exchange tactics.
Our Video Integration Center in downtown Atlanta is modeled after the Command and Control Center I saw in the old city of Jerusalem.
This is what you look for. These are the specific things that you go through to look for hate crime. Follow these things and there will be no victims swept on the rug anymore. So this is a huge thing ADL did for not only our family, but for the whole world society.
This is about giving people, including some of the most reprehensible people on Earth, the biggest platform in history to reach a third of the planet.
Well, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Not as interesting as I thought it would be, though. But it was pretty interesting. It's
Oh boy.
Yep.
That's all I can say on that one. It's just, oh boy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we got lots of dead air tonight, huh?
Yeah, I'm like trying to fix my mic. I don't know why the sensitivity's so fucking low on it.
Wow, that's what it is. Well, usually I can't get you to shut up.
Fucker. Just got a cramp in my wrist.
Oh, yeah,
better?
this was an interesting one that I wanted to go through. Unless you guys got something else you want to talk about first.
I don't know what you're about to talk about, so let's see.
There's some crazy timeline shit dealing with Dominion voting and all kind of crazy shit.
Huh.
Bring it on.
So the Dominion voting system patents given to China Bank HSBC as collateral in 2019, one day after Trump's speech, "We will never serve globalism." HSBC received ownership of the intellectual property of elections, ballot systems, cyber, and internet capacities. And he's got the... actually, I should put this on screen. He's got the documents here proving it and all that shit.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Oh yeah, oh it gets really crazy too. Until I get into this. But yeah, September 25th, 2019, Dominion Voting Systems Corporation. These are the patents that they were giving to HSBC, China-owned bank there. Oh, that's owned directly by the Chinese Communist Party too, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, Trump gave his speech to the UN on September 24th, the day before, on how the future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots, and stuck a massive MAGA finger in their face. The very next day, the Dominion intellectual property was transferred to CCP China and HSBC Crown assets. Trump's speech was epic, but it infuriated the enslavers, the controllers of the world, the British Privy Council, and CCP China, and the EU, and their combined corrupt criminal globalist interests.
Yep.
Not going to play that whole thing because it's 30 minutes. But that was on September 24th. Just 3 weeks later, on October 18th through 19th, is when Event 201 launched. You guys remember what Event 201 is, right? Event 201.
No, I don't remember.
Okay, because this is in October of last year. Event 201 was what they were doing with the... it was in October of last year, and it was the simulation of if a virus pandemic came out that was run by... well, Bill Gates was really deeply involved in it and crap, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a private... It was a privately...
I think it was a public-private partnership because that's what they like to do there.
Yeah.
Where... Okay. So that was September 24th, just 3 weeks later on October 18th and 19th. Event 201 was launched. The World Military Games collaboration was just finished, where China, the EU, and Britain were collaborating militarily and with their intel agencies like never before. In the speech, Trump also hit China. Trump hit China big time, calling out their theft of intellectual property and trade secrets, trade fraud, lack of freedom for the people. Trump also talked about Micron's designs for $8.7 billion, how they were pushed out of the market. Now China owns the patents. Now it is China who owns the intellectual property of the voting machines. Such intellectual property is inside not only Dominion machines, but also Smartmatic and Sequoia and others. How far this goes needs to be researched, but now your voting machines are run on Chinese intellectual property with Chinese scanners and tabulators and networking. Ooh, wow, I didn't even know that.
That's
James Comey was
right
appointed to the HSBC Board of Directors. A massive HSBC scandal for laundering billions of drug traffickers, arms dealers, which covered up when Obamagate's AG Loretta Lynch struck a deal. Clinton's received $81 million via HSBC clients. they have had many issues with money laundering as IP to China. Again, the Serco British Crown. The massive money laundering and support for financial crimes by HSBC was hit with billions of dollars in fines and endless new regulations tightening the bank worldwide to rein in control of the economy, which harmed small businesses everywhere as a consequence. No surprise. Updated facts a couple hours after looking into this news and making thread. If Dominion goes down due to criminal investigation, which is likely, who gets the IP? The UK, Serco, HSBC, or China? The intellectual property should be listed as dangerous and criminal federal property, so every nation warned. Transaction is an assignment. It's only for a loan. Dominion, if they had or could raise the funds, they could buy it back by paying the loan, but that's unlikely. It could have been sold to HSBC or an escrow to HSBC to be sold. There's some more documents. Alright, I didn't get into too much more there, but I didn't realize that fucking Comey had been named to the board of HSBC. That's fucking nuts.
No, I didn't know that. When I heard that, I went and I Googled it, and apparently it is true.
Yeah. That was really quiet there, wasn't it? And in fact, they did that the day after, because I know. What was it, May? Was it May 2019? I think it was, or was it May this year? That Dominion filed for bankruptcy. And that's when it was bought out by the Venezuelans. So now we got like Venezuela and China all up in our voting systems and shit. This shit's fucking nuts.
Howdy, guys.
Hey, what's up, Ray?
Hey, there he is.
How you doing, brother? And brothers?
Borther.
Oh, you were doing some music, huh?
Yeah, fucking around. Thinking about getting another band back together, and I haven't been singing in fucking ages, so it's got to kind of work your way back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about.
Yep.
Well, first we mentioned that the Trump sent out the statement that Sidney Powell is not, as she's practicing law on her own. She's not a member of the Trump legal team, and she's not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. So that's pretty crazy.
Huh. I did not see that.
Because just yesterday she was like on Newsmax. That if you haven't seen that interview on Newsmax, I recommend it. It's fucking crazy. But she was saying Georgia's probably going to be the first state she's going to blow up.
Yeah, I saw some of that.
Yeah. And she said that that Kemp, the Georgia Governor Kemp, and Secretary of State Raffensperger were being paid as part of the conspiracy with Dominion voting systems.
And now Trump has publicly cut ties with her.
Yeah, because just last week, Trump had tweeted out, "I look forward to Mayor Giuliani spearheading the illegal effort to defend our right to free and fair elections. Rudy Giuliani, Joseph DeGenova, Victoria Tonsik, Sidney Powell, and Jenna Ellis. Truly great team." So, I don't know what caused them to cut ties with her. This is pretty crazy.
Something going on there.
And, yeah, there's definitely something crazy going on here.
Well, I wonder what that could be.
Let's see.
Maybe she's sticking her neck out too much, saying too many things that they can't substantiate, and
yeah, that's possible for sure.
Because I mean, if they have all this evidence that they can bring things to court and get shit done, like, it shouldn't really matter. I mean, like, she's not saying anything crazy outside of that. But I mean, if they don't have it, and they know they don't have it, and they've got a different route that they have to go, and they've been telling her to keep her fucking mouth shut.
I mean, that's possible. It's really hard to fucking say right now because it just came out. It just happened, you know what I mean? Like, what, 15, 20 minutes before we started the show. So, like...
Oh, really?
Yeah. Light Bite says he thinks he's getting too close to the truth. So, that's possible for sure. And we had just went over some shit. Apparently, Dominion had used their patents as collateral with HSBC, which is pretty much Chinese-owned bank there. And I know that when did they? And that was like because right after Trump had, is the day after. Trump had given a speech talking about the future belongs to the patriots, not the globalists and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just a few weeks later is when they did Agenda 201, and then poof, a couple months, 6 weeks after that comes the coof,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could. I can't remember if it was May 2019 or May 2020 that Dominion filed for bankruptcy. No, it was this year. So that was after that. So if they filed for bankruptcy after fucking and HSBC was holding those patents, then HSBC gets those patents. Right?
Yeah.
So that's not good. So she's definitely got to be onto something. You know what I mean? So it's really weird that fucking Trump would, like, try to cut ties with her at this time.
Yeah.
You know? That's a really good question, too, Evil Ghostler. He asked, why is Europe working militarily with the Chinese? And that's an incredibly good question.
I wasn't aware that they were. What have they been doing? What have they been doing?
Because right around that same time that Trump gave that speech and Dominion put up their patents.
Yep.
Europe was doing military war games or whatever, joint drills and shit with Chinese. They were working closely with them. It was China.
Yeah.
I just read it, but I forgot. It was China, Europe, and somebody else. I don't remember who. And there has been a big call in the EU this year, incredibly recently even, to say that they need to start building up their own militaries and not depending on the United States as much.
Yeah.
So...
that in itself, I mean, Americans have been saying that for fucking decades now, but it's suspect.
Yeah, but it's funny Europe saying that.
Yeah.
You know, Redeem Cat put in a tweet here that I opened up, but and this does make a lot of sense. That it's all optics. Private citizen who is fighting for election integrity and corruption, who is not on the Trump payroll, is more powerful, and judges can be impartial. Better off having an independent blow the case open for a Trump victory anyway, less bias, and the fight is for election integrity. So yeah, that does actually make sense. Maybe that does have to do with it. That's definitely a strong possibility. There's definitely some crazy shit in the works. That's for sure. You know?
Yeah. They didn't disavow her, right? They just said she's working on her own.
Yeah. Yeah, they said she's working on her own. She's not part of the team. So, I guess we'll have to see.
But also,
where it
I mean,
goes with.
that could be also, I mean, something as simple as her following something that they, you know, the rest of the guys were like, well, no, we need to focus on this, and she goes, well, I'm gonna keep doing this because this is, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Evil Ghost
knows?
said, yeah. It was Europe, Britain, and China that were doing the military exercises together and stuff, wargaming and shit.
Why the fuck would England be doing wargaming with China? Like, what the fuck?
Well, and
because England has always been one of our biggest enemies.
That's incredibly true. And
remember that video I sent you about how we were still thinking about going to war with England even right before World War II started?
Yep.
Wouldn't that have been some real funny shit?
And they came up the past 2 nights when I was going through the CIA information and shit between with the art stuff and all this stuff's happening in London. I was like, if you think that MI5 and 6 isn't involved in this, you're fucking nuts. And the Tavistock Institute and all this shit, you know.
Yeah. And look at all the, like, as much crazy shit happened in England as it happened in the United States as far as that kind of subversive culture war shit, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because I was talking about this earlier. Like, Britain is the epitome of the fucking surveillance state these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's frightening. Yeah.
Yeah. And the only ones that come anywhere close are New Zealand and Australia, which are fucking, and Canada's getting up there these days now too. So it's all the Commonwealth.
Oh yeah, Canada's not far.
Yeah, it's all the Commonwealth states there.
Is that trucker friend on here?
Yeah, dude.
It is.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
How you doing?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. How's it trucking?
Yeah, I think that. Oh, very fun, very fun. Yeah, I'm in northern Maryland.
Lucky bastard.
In a hotel.
Yeah, Northern Maryland's nice.
Yeah. My brother lives out in Baltimore.
Okay. Yeah.
Baltimore sucks.
I've never been down.
Baltimore sucks. Baltimore fucking sucks.
I was kind of wondering what you meant by that, but
yeah, Baltimore just absolutely sucks. They got good food though. Great seafood.
As a general rule of thumb, any big city you do not want to be in a big truck.
No.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster. Trucker, I don't know if you were listening when I was telling my story about having to drive through Laguna Beach in my truck. That was a nightmare. That was an absolute fucking nightmare.
You were telling that yesterday, weren't you?
Yeah, I was telling that story yesterday about driving through Laguna Beach, and it was those roads are not made for trucks yet. For some reason, my GPS still told me to go through there. Not my personal GPS, but my Qualcomm. So should have known better.
You're talking about big truck then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's always fun when you have to do that kind of shit.
Especially in Laguna Beach when everyone's driving a Ferrari and shit. It's just like something bad's gonna happen, and I'm gonna be out of a lot of money.
Yes. Yeah, and everybody is so impatient that it's certainly a stressful occupation.
It is. It really fucking is.
Hell yes. Oh fuck.
Oh.
Yeah. So I delivered to Target the other day, and that was a nice little, what I put on Twitter there. That was a nice little thing that they gave, a 10% coupon, which is, it's something.
It is very nice. It is. I haven't had that kind of service with Target though.
I don't want to say the exact
hooks.
place. Yeah, that's what mine was, but I don't want to say the exact distribution center I went to, but yeah. They offered me a snack and everything. I was like,
Snack.
That's
That's
nice
all right,
of
man.
them,
You guys-
man.
are you-
That's good.
you guys,
Snacky
are you guys
time.
feeling okay?
Yeah, I know, right?
As long as I got 2 truckers here, because there's isn't it what it's a week from now, isn't it, where they're supposed to start the trucker strike?
Supposedly.
Supposedly. No,
I haven't
know.
heard anything about it from other drivers or on the CB.
Yeah, I thought I'd ask you about that, and that's what you said, and then Johnny said basically the same thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, I
So-
don't get paid enough to strike. I don't get paid enough.
But it's interesting. Where do rumors like that come from? You know what I mean?
Internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all over the fucking news. Oh, there's going to be a trucker strike and blah, blah, blah. You better buy you some food and get all stocked up.
You know what's kind of ironic? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say what's kind of ironic about the kind of economic system that we're in is that people would probably be more likely to strike and have public kind of mass strikes if we got paid more and had more savings and shit. So actually keeping us on a shoestring is a more effective way of controlling us than actually paying us well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
If you had 6 months, and it's once again, it's funny because like if you're treated better in a way, you know, where you can have savings and things, you have more control of what you do, right? 'Cause if you have 6 months savings, you can go, yeah, fuck it, you know what? I'm just not going to work. Fuck you. I can go 6 whole fucking months. It's
Well,
kinda
on top
funny.
of that too, there's the level of consumerism that we have as a society. You know, everybody. I have multiple friends who, the moment they get that dollar, they're spending that dollar. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, I've seen. I'm a mechanic and working with flat rate mechanics to see it. When things are good, they're buying new Harleys and boats and all this shit, putting a pool in, and then all of a sudden it's slow time, and they're just freaking out because they got these big payments to make. They don't own a fucking thing.
That's right.
Why you gotta buy used? Always buy used. You don't have to make a fucking payment on shit.
Yeah, except for a big truck. Don't buy a used big truck.
Yeah, don't do that shit.
It can't costing you more, yeah.
Yeah. A finance one, that's something that's okay to finance because you're going to pay it off eventually. But
Well, yeah, I mean, like
because they'll work with you. They'll work with you to make sure you make enough money to make the payment.
Yeah.
You know, but if you want a brand new W900, you better have $200,000 ready to drop on that fucking thing, or it's not going to happen.
Oh yes.
I want a W900 so bad.
Well, I was in talks with another friend, and we were discussing the potential for starting our own outfit, and I think that'd be interesting if we had our own little outfit going.
Nice.
I was talking about it. I said yes, I'd love nothing more than a W900.
Yeah.
Or a 389.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be so cool.
What
Once
I was
again,
going to
like-
say before, we were talking about, shit, what were we talking about? Fuck, I don't remember. Slipped my mind now. Never mind.
Fucking, I wrecked it for everybody.
ahead.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's all right.
Fucking Canadian comes in, screws everything up.
Fucking
Again.
Canadians, dude. Every fucking
leave.
time.
Every fucking
Every
time.
single fucking time.
Not French Canadians, though. They're fine.
Whoa, whoa,
J-Boy's okay.
The worst ones are the best ones.
Because we got Sarah in the chat. We want to make sure she's not included in that. You know, it's just
ASD Tabarnak.
it's just the Anglos.
I can also pretend that I am a French Canadian too. Actually, I'm Pull that up.
All right, there, Pepe Le Pew.
J'ai parlé la franglaise, eh? Shit, we were driving to Montreal for this Rockabilly Festival one year, and none of my friends had been to Quebec before, so I was getting them kind of warmed up, and I was like, okay, you got to remember, these are some important things about French Canadians, and I'm like, they this is how they speak, and you got to remember that you got to watch how they swear, because if they just swear in French, they're not really that mad. So they'll go "Esti tabarnak," but they're like, okay, a little mad. But if they drop an English swear word, they're pissed. So it'd be like, once again, "Esti tabarnak, fuck," and like, get the fuck out of the way, man. He's dropping English swear words. So I was doing this. I was driving, and I'm doing this for like, it was like a 10-hour, 11-hour drive. And I'm doing this for like 6 fucking hours, talking like a French Canadian. We like that Putin. There you go, guys. And we go through like
11 hours of that shit.
We go through a Tim Hortons, and I fucking order my coffees that way. I'm like, bonjour, I would like 2 large coffee, double, and they're fucking laughing, and so it's a big joke. We're having fun with this, whatever. We get to Montreal, and we get to this, it's just outside of Montreal, actually. We get to this place, we walk in, and there were some French-Canadian guys that I hung out with the year before at this festival. And, like, they barely speak English. I walk up to them, they're like, hey, bonjour, hey, how's it going? And I fucking didn't turn it off. And I
You forgot you were doing it.
English accent, right? And I'm like, oh, so good to see you guys. Bonjour, comment ça va? Come on, give me a big hug, And then we walk away, and all my friends are staring at me like, fucking dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Well, those guys were so drunk they didn't even fucking notice, so I was lucky. But it's so fucking embarrassing. I'm just like, shit, I'm just making fun of French people. Too fucking, yeah.
That's okay, they're French.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Yeah, what the fuck? Esti tabarnak, tabarnush.
I'm sorry, but I don't speak surrenderese.
I mean, I only speak English, so.
I don't
American
know how to speak,
English at that.
Yeah, I don't know how to speak pussy. Or French.
You're not the vagina whisperer.
Get it because they surrendered in World War II.
Oh, get it? But see, the French Canadians are different. All the badass French went to Canada.
Is that true?
That's what. Yeah.
Well, that's
Same with Scotland. That's why Scotland's so cucked. Is because all the badass Scots went to America.
Yeah. Well, no, that's. That is true. I mean, like, you got to remember the people who were going from France to what they called New France at the time, but Canada, and down into the United States in the 1600s, right? Like, it was fucking like another planet.
Yeah. Because the Cajuns,
and not only
the Cajuns and Canadians, the word comes from the same source.
Yeah, they were all the same people at one point.
Yeah. The Cajuns are pretty. There's some interesting cats, that's for sure. The swamp rats.
Yeah. But all these crazy fur traders and all these crazy fur traders and shit were going off into the wilderness for 6-8 months at a time.
Yep.
Fighting with fucking Indians and coming back and
fucking based.
Yeah, based.
Some
based.
See, if the French had still had the French Canadians, then history would have been a little different.
Yeah, they would have just gone to Germany.
Now they probably would have fucking joined the Germans, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're saying they were prisoners, like Australia. But see, like, the French were, they just called people they didn't like fucking criminals. Like, we've all seen Papillon, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a really good movie. I haven't seen that in a long
movie?
time. Papillon.
Yep.
Oh.
Or Papillon. Papillon, I suppose it's pronounced. But I speak it like an American, because...
Yeah, what's it about?
Dude who's like falsely accused, and then he gets sent to a French prison colony, And the Caribbean, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's fuck.
Something like that. On some crazy island and tropical island and shit.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, at least you got to go to the Caribbean. That's always nice.
He didn't seem like he was having a whole lot of fun.
Oh, it's because he's just a boner. He doesn't know how to have fun.
At one point, they had him like locked in solitary confinement, and they weren't
that's
feeding him
great. You
shit.
get all that time
He
to
had
yourself.
He had to eat like fucking centipedes and shit.
That's protein. I don't see the problem with that.
He's living in his pod, eating his bugs. Come on.
Yeah, leave him alone. They literally want us to live in solitary confinement. Jesus Christ, I just realized that. Pods and bugs.
Mm-hmm.
We are fucked.
It was foreshadowing what they want for us for the future.
What was the thing about... who was watching Demolition Man yesterday on Twitter and was like sharing clips of the movie and how that movie's literally about the Great Reset?
Yep. You're gonna have to watch that again then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since I saw that one too.
Because like if you cuss, you get a ticket. If you like don't social distance, you get a ticket. It's like a bunch of bullshit.
You know, last night after the show, I turned on a movie and Fahrenheit 454, like the reboot that they did recently, was on. And man, that's some fucking, like, they were nailing exactly what they're trying to do now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rewriting history and shit. And they're like...
You guys see that Christian Bale version of that movie? It's not called Fahrenheit 454, whatever. It's Equilibrium.
I believe I have.
It's kind of a watered down version of it. It's actually pretty good. I was surprised how good it was.
Yeah, is that the one where they had to like they end up burning people and shit?
Yeah, they take
Incinerating the
pills so that they
people.
don't have any emotions.
Yeah, and they take the pills so they don't have. Yeah, actually, I saw that a couple times in the past few months. I just didn't know the name of it because. But yeah. And the Fahrenheit 454 was like, I think it's a little bit newer than the Christian Bale one there. So like, but it was.
You mean Fahrenheit 451, not 454?
451.
No, this is this one's about a big block Chevy. It's much better.
Yeah, it's a big block Chevy.
Fahrenheit
454.
About a guy who runs around with a big fucking revolver and just kills a bunch of fascists with it.
It's a lot more drag racing, and the more naked chicks and shit. It's much better.
Yeah, much better.
It's Death Race. It's Death Race 2000, the original version, but also 1984.
Right. Yeah. Well, see, they got the big block Chevy, and then the flames come out of the hood. It's pretty crazy, actually.
He's the new Paul Revere. Instead of a horse, he just drives a Chevy big block.
Yeah. The firemen are actually like, girls in little Daisy Dukes and shit.
Yeah.
This movie has to be made. Let's get this shit done.
Dude, modern day Paul Revere, he just drives a 454. And so, like, everyone can hear his car from miles away, and they know it's a warning that the British are coming.
Right. So the ADL that's monitoring this conversation, if you could talk to your cousin in Hollywood there and get back to us, dude, we'd love to make this.
We got some good ideas, boys. We got some good ideas. Let's get this shit done. Starring Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Rusty Shackelford saying Equilibrium is the Matrix mixed with Fahrenheit 451. And
Yeah,
and it is because it's kind of a little bit of all of them combined. Yeah, because the Brave New World with the pills, but they even had that in the reboot of Fahrenheit 451 where they had the drops that they put in their eyes, and it. But they were
the movie
really
The Island?
nailing it about how they were like, they like find a woman's library or whatever, and he's like, the first one he picks up, he's like, oh, Huck Finn and his, we didn't do a gamer word for the day, so. Let's go with Jigaboo today.
Yes.
All right, I'll do my usual message.
So, So he was like when they go walk into the library, the first one he picks up is like Huck Finn. He said Huck Finn is Jigaboo, but he used the real word. And he's like, the blacks didn't like that one, so we burned it. And then it was some black book, some black pride book or some shit, I guess. I don't remember. He was like, oh, and the white ones didn't like that, so we burned it too. And then they, completely manufactured history and shit. And, had to delete all the evidence. But since it was fairly recent, they had an internet, and then people were talking on the dark web and all kind of shit. So it was pretty interesting.
I think one thing we have to remember is that no matter what happens in the next year, 2 years, decade, is that when we die, we get to spend eternity in the kingdom of heaven, whereas everyone else, well, we all know where they're going to go. So no matter what, we ultimately win in the end.
Yeah, so they say.
This is true.
Yep. But yeah,
Just makes you laugh, doesn't it? That they have no idea what's about to happen to them.
But yeah, watching the Fahrenheit 451, and like I said, I've seen Equilibrium a couple times, like over the past few months, and just they spell it out for us exactly what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Papillon with the eating bugs and living in the pod, though, that was one I didn't see coming. You know.
Did that take place in the past or in the future? The Papillon.
The past.
It's in the past.
Okay.
I think it was based on a true story, wasn't it?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Napoleonic times, was it? Or a little after that?
Huh.
No, it was
that, yeah.
A little after that.
But it wasn't long before they actually shut all those prison islands down, because people started realizing how fucking bad these people were being treated.
Yeah.
I mean, like, here's the thing, like, if you catch a criminal and he's a bad dude, he's a rapist, he's a murderer, whatever, you want to do whatever you want with the guy. I don't care. I would personally say torturing and over decades and decades doesn't really do anybody any good. Just fucking hang the guy, guillotine, whatever you choose, electric chair. But if you get people who, even if you're like, oh, this guy can't be reformed, but we don't want to kill the guy, I don't think torturing him for fucking 20 years is the way to go.
Yeah. That's not fair. That's not
It's not about
nice.
not fair. It's not about not fair or not nice. It's just fucking.
No,
what do you want to be?
It's just not right. That's just not how you do things.
I never could figure out
exactly.
like the life in prison.
Well, some people just deserve to spend the rest of their life in prison. Like if you murder a child or you rape a child, you deserve to spend life in prison.
Well,
or
okay,
to be just executed.
I would just hang him. I would just
free,
hang
but-
him. Yeah,
For execution.
Yeah.
hang him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Public
feel like
hangings.
Well, see, some of them might want death. So if they want to die, then you send them to life in prison.
But it's not about what they want.
It's
Fuck
not
them.
about
It's
what-
about
No, I
removing
want
them
them to. I want them to have the outcome that makes them to suffer the most because they just made a child suffer.
Well, I
Well, then
understand
we may as well
that,
we may as well torture them.
But yeah, we could do that too.
but
they can suffer in hell. Fuck them.
True.
But when we used to do
remove-
public hangings, that was very much of a
Deterrent.
deterrent.
Yeah.
We did not get a whole lot of things going on there. A lot of criminal activity when people were getting hung for it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
The only problem is we have this pesky amendment in our Constitution that says you can't use cruel and unusual punishment.
Well, see,
I don't
that's
see
why
what's
I think
cruel about
because
execution.
why waste the resources keeping this person alive for as long as they're gonna live and shit.
Because each head in a federal prison or in a private prison,
fucking hang them and be done with it.
Because they're each worth like $60,000 a piece.
Yeah.
Well, but who pays for that?
We do, but that goes to the pockets of the politicians.
Why do I want to pay
$60,000
$60,000 a year? You know,
no, we don't.
Taxpayer, I don't want to. Well, obviously,
yeah.
That's kind of my point. Why don't we just fucking rope is cheap? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Part of the legal doctrine, cruel and unusual punishment. I mean, you have to have both cruel and unusual. I wouldn't classify execution as unusual.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't classify it as cruel either. If it's you drop on a rope, it snaps your neck. There you go. You died instantly.
Oh, Zara wanted me to say something about Jesus. So, Jesus is our Lord and Savior.
He is.
Yes,
he is. That is a fact.
Also, I have to ask, who said it? I forget who said it, but somebody said that they imagine my voice being cozier. What exactly does cozier entail?
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say maybe, I don't know, you sound like Willie Nelson a little bit.
How cozy is my voice?
On the road again.
Yeah.
Making music with my friends. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
That sounds like Bob Dylan, but okay.
How cozy is my voice? Just on a scale.
You sound like your age. You sound like a 41-year-old guy who drinks and occasionally smokes a cigar or something like that.
Sounds cozy to me.
Yeah, it's pretty damn cozy.
That's pretty based.
Yeah.
Pretty based, yep.
I don't know, Trucker. I think you sound like a cozy fella.
He does. He does.
I didn't have a voice in my head, to be honest. So I was just kind of, wow, shit. Okay, that's what you sound like.
Air Raid sounds like the kind of guy who'd be in like a Canadian workshop, just fiddle fucking around.
He sounds like a Canadian mechanic. Yeah,
I can imagine Air Raid being like AVE in real life.
Yeah, I could see that.
What?
AVE? You've never seen AVE?
No.
Oh my God, you are a traitor to Canada. You need to look at either Zip Ties and Bias Plies or AVE. Two of the funniest Canadian motherfuckers on YouTube.
Oh, check him out.
They're both AVE's like an engineer, but he's a very blue collar guy, very based. Zip Ties and Bias Plies. Zip Ties and Bias Ply is very based, very based.
You want to see what rural Canada's like? Check out Letterkenny.
Hey, Steve, that doesn't really help because I've never watched Survivor, so I don't know what Rupert
Letterkenny's a great
sounds
one,
like. Black Brad Pitt says the trucker sounds like he enjoys Shirley Temples and licorice.
He does.
How'd you know?
I've been exposed.
What do I sound like?
You sound like a hefty trucker. A young but hefty trucker.
Thank you.
There's a lot less huffing and puffing tonight, and you sound a little bit more professional tonight. But
I'm using a laptop and a Yeti microphone.
Well, so. There we go.
Oh yeah, you're stepping it up a notch today, huh?
Yeah, I'm home for Thanksgiving, so I got all the shit out tonight.
Yeah, I noticed your audio quality is much better. We don't hear the.
Well, that's also because I had my Juul and I just kept hitting it too much, and I just fill my throat up with phlegm.
That's why I smoke cigarettes. That's why they're healthy.
Yeah.
They probably really are. We're probably going to learn.
I only do those noises for about 20-25 minutes every morning. I don't do them for the entire day.
So here's the question.
Since I was a freshman in high school, making that damn noise.
So here's the question. We all know about Canadians with their flapping heads and their beady eyes.
It's fact. It's fact.
But do French Canadians have flapping heads, or is it just the Anglo Canadians?
No, just the Anglo. The French are completely different.
The French are amazing people. They're gorgeous. They're almost like they're like just carved out of stone almost.
Yeah, dude. Actually, I lived in Montreal for almost 2 years when I was a teenager. Let me tell you, the French Canadian gals.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah. higher frequency of armpit hair, but other than that, boy,
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, it's not a myth then.
No. And it's not like they're. I mean, like they have their enough dirty hippies there, but I mean, like you can meet some. Well, at least back in the '90s, you can meet some French Canadian gals who are late teens, early 20s. Which was I was 16, 17. So those are the gals I was kind of eyeballing, and they look completely fucking normal. But you know what? They got a couple of fucking hairs sticking out of the t-shirt. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. No, I didn't care.
Yeah,
not fucking their armpits.
Oh, knock it till you tried it, bud.
Walrus, what the fuck, dude?
Well, there we go.
Walrus is the new pervert.
You didn't go to fucking Bulgaria for nothing, dude.
Oh.
You wanted some of them hot fucking hairy Bulgarian armpits.
Wait, what's the myth there? We got a delay, so I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to.
What? A myth?
Yeah, what's a myth?
Oh, is there friendly?
Huh? The hairy armpits is a myth?
Oh yeah, Trucker Friend was saying that he thought that was a myth.
Hairy armpits?
Yeah, Trucker.
Oh,
I think
yes.
you're. Oh, there he is.
I mean, it's an easily solvable problem, so.
Oh yeah, the legal drinking age is 18 in Quebec. So it's retarded that you can't just fucking go to the liquor store and pay somebody to get you some booze or just fucking wait a year. But we'd all sneak across the border when I was living in the Ottawa area to go get booze in Quebec. Actually, we'd go across this bridge. Can't remember what the fucking name of the bridge is, but it's right beside the Parliament buildings. Go over to whole Quebec, pick up a 2-4, and then get a one of the university student rickshaw drivers to drive us back, carry us back across the fucking bridge. There's no like border control between provinces, right? So you can just fucking walk across.
Well, is it basically like states then? I've never been to Canada.
Yeah. Like there's nothing. There's a sign.
Oh, we got some news about Sidney Powell here. She has been suspended from Twitter for 12 hours. She understands the White House press release and agrees with it. She is staying the course to prove the massive deliberate election fraud that robbed we the people of our votes for President Trump and other Republican candidates. And that does. I'm leaning towards like where I agree with Redeemed Cat on that. With it lends the court cases more credibility if it's from not from the president's team directly there. So that does make sense to me.
Yeah, and if they're trying to fucking gas her on Twitter, then she's saying something fucking important.
Yeah. And so you heard it here first, folks. There are many laser hair removal salons in Quebec. Quebecois are not hairy.
That's boring. Nobody
They
wants
are.
that.
That's why they need so many fucking laser removal salons.
Yeah.
I gotta admit. I gotta admit, for every pretty French gal, there was another one with a mustache. I'll just put it that way. They've been working on that apparently.
Well, not anymore because now they got laser hair removal stations.
Exactly. So
mustaches are a thing of the past.
I was living in Quebec in the wrong decade.
Ain't fucking the future great?
I don't think so.
Not really. But there are some minor benefits.
No.
Fewer mustaches on women, I think, is a benefit.
That's a benefit, but you know, everywhere else it's fine.
Yeah, I was saying, like, because Louisiana, the drinking age was 18. Until I turned 7, I think they changed it when I was 17.
They knew you were coming.
Yeah, but I still moved to New Orleans when I was 19. And I ended up, I never got carded, so it didn't matter. I could drink in pretty much any bar, and so
I gotta say the American tourists who would come to Canada because the 18 or 19-year-old drinking age were fucking irritating people, boy. Holy shit!
We could always go to Mexico too.
So. Yeah, well,
when I lived in
if
California,
you're in New York State
15.
or something, or if you're in New York State, you're not necessarily going to go to Mexico, right?
Yeah. If you're in New York,
Ontario.
well, it's because they're fucking New Yorkers. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. Once again,
Nobody likes New
any
Yorkers.
kind of a shot.
New Yorkers don't like New Yorkers.
But boy, fucking driving through the Adirondacks. Wow, what a place. I don't know if you ever driven through there, but
the Adirondacks are beautiful. Yes, that's true.
Oh God, yeah, like
the Catskills are nice too, actually too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people around that way.
I haven't been there yet.
You used to know a lot of people around that way. Nice area. Around Herkimer and stuff. That's a fucking gorgeous area.
Yeah, we used to go to like what was it, Messina, and there's another place, upper New York, anyways.
Watertown.
Yeah.
That's right across the lake from you there.
Yeah, there's another fucking place. It's on the tip of my tongue. Never mind, it doesn't matter. But yeah, we'd go driving down around there, and just the fucking like, you're driving up down this highway, and it's just like it drops off, 200, 300 feet off of the sides. You're just looking over at the tops of all the fucking trees, and it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, Watertown is actually a really nice little city up there. And there ain't shit there. It's fucking cold as piss in the winter, but I guess you're Canadian, so you're used to that shit.
Yeah. It's like it's gonna be colder than the Ottawa area. I don't.
Yeah, probably about the same, I would imagine.
Rochester, is that it? Rochester, New York. Hold on.
Rochester.
If you want to wake yourself
I lived in
up
Rochester
really
for a little bit.
Try having to take an emergency piss outside in northern New Mexico in the dead of winter when it's 8 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and you don't have time to put your pants on because you got to piss now.
I
So
made
you
it
just
through
have time to
most
put your
of a
shoes
winter in
on,
Rochester
step out,
once.
get behind the truck, and just piss.
I made it through most of a winter in Rochester once.
Huh.
That I don't recommend it, by the way. It's fucking cold, and there's snow fucking everywhere. Oh, it would get up to like 20 degrees outside, and you're like, "Hey, I'm going for a walk. It's fucking nice." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, fucking we went as far as Plattsburgh. That's where it was.
Oh, Plattsburgh. Yeah.
But like Ogdensburg is right across the St. Lawrence, and there's a bridge there.
Yep, there's a bridge there.
Messina's just near Cornwall, and then we went down. Yeah, Watertown is down closer to Kingston, and we went down there too. So there's a couple places where there's bridges that that's where you cross over, so you kind of see what's around that area. But yeah. We used to play when I was a kid. We used to play some American hockey teams. They'd come across the border to play us.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But we were I wasn't good enough to be in the traveling team, so we didn't. I don't think I ever went down there. We just kind of stayed in our area.
Being from Texas, my granddad taught me everything I needed to know about hockey. That don't step in it. Don't step in it. Oh, would he get mad? And he wouldn't want to curse, so he'd be like, horse hockey.
Yeah. It's a good sport. I like it. It. I haven't played it in fucking decades, but it's too expensive nowadays, man.
Well, you gotta have ice. I don't know. I just never. ice skates. It's just kind of weird to me.
Yeah, well, not living in a place that freezes over for fucking 6 months of the year.
Oh, yeah, you guys
I get
make
that.
some crazy shit. Like, what's that fucking... where you push the thing and you get the brooms out there and shit?
Yeah, the Zamboni. I want to ride.
No, not the Zamboni. The curling. Curling.
Oh, curling.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
you were talking about the.
Yeah.
Dude,
Leave it to Canadians
curling
to
is-
invent a sport where you're fucking
It's the
sweeping
gayest-
ice.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I never understood curling, and like we had a curling club in the town I grew up in, and I did curling, and I never fucking got it. None of the kids got it. All the adults got it though, because they would just get fucking shit-faced drunk. That's all it was. It was just people sliding fucking rocks down a fucking strip of ice while getting hammered.
Just caveman shit ever.
So it was like,
I gotta go take a shit. I'll be right back.
yeah, it's clearly a lot less about the actual game and more about the fucking alcohol consumption. And I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that, huh? Zara used to play ball hockey. Gonna try to avoid the hard jokes from that one.
Yeah, you like getting your hands on some balls and a good hardwood stick, and then scoring some goals. Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Whacking some balls, huh?
Yeah. I will not apologize for that.
Paddock's brand piss jugs are the best. I don't know about that. Oh yeah, because Trucker Tuber Twitter wanted to know what's your favorite piss jug on the road.
My favorite piss jug?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I drink a lot of Coke, and so I just get the 12-ounce bottles, and every time I'm done with that, fill it back up.
See, I would have gone with Gatorade, but you got to drink Gatorade to have the Gatorade bottle, huh? They have a nice wide, they have a nice wide mouth to like, and they're 32 ounces, so you're not as likely to fill it up, overflow it. Yeah.
Yeah, that certainly would be of great help, but see, the problem is that I don't drink Gatorade enough. I have to have a lot of caffeine, like a lot of caffeine.
Do you hear on Fren Report Live? We get down to the nitty gritty.
Oh yes,
discussing the engineering of the proper piss jug.
The most important issues.
You can't get this anywhere else, folks. This is it.
Right.
This is the place. This is the place. Speaking of piss jugs, I'll be right back myself.
All right.
I think it's hilarious. I've talked to some of the guys, and they've got like, I talked to this one guy who's a driver at my company, and he's got this contraption. I don't know how it works, but basically, it's got a hose that clamps onto the head of his dick, and he can pee going down the road this way.
What, he just hangs the hose out the window?
I don't know.
Well,
if
it'd
it
have
goes
to
in
be
a
like
jug. I don't know if it
has
goes
to
in
be
a
like
jug
either in
or-
a jug or if it was like long enough that it could hang out the windows where it hangs below your.
I've also heard of guys who have
Gravity.
holes in the floors of the cab, and they have a hose that goes out the hole in the floor of the cab. And I mean, I don't know if you've ever looked underneath the semi-truck cab, but there's a lot of room under there. I mean, I can get underneath there, my entire body, and I mean, I could,
Yeah, but that was a trucker, so I'm pretty familiar.
Oh yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's certainly a lot of places that they could do that if they wanted to run a hose through there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too difficult. I'm sure if you were a little crafty, you could figure something out. Oh, Pablo Rua is saying Welch's grape juice, wide mouth, 1 liter. But this is America. We don't have liters, bud. We have quarts.
What an idiot. Come on, Jesus.
What a moron.
What's he, European or Canadian? Fuck.
He is Canadian. We got a lot.
Hey,
we cater to a lot of Leafs on this channel.
Leaders are better. I'm down with you. Leaders are better.
They're
Anyways,
slightly bigger. Very slightly.
Everything's slightly bigger here. It's like we're like the Texas in North America. Everything's bigger in Canada.
Like so you'd rather have the half-liter can of beer than the pint can of beer. It's got just a little bit more, an extra little spit there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. What are your like regular cans of beer?
12 ounces.
Like what? Yeah, because ours come in 355 milliliter, and I think they're the same size.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it doesn't matter. Like it's
Let's
yeah,
see.
the half
I've got
liters
a
are
glass
slightly-
bottle. It's got to be labeled here. Probably.
No, because like in America they got it's actually a half-liter
it.
water bottle, but they say the 16 point whatever fraction of a ounce it is off from an actual pint.
What's funny is a lot of people don't know this, but a regular can of beer has more in it than a bottle does. You look at the bottle and you go, "Oh, that's a bigger thing. It must have more beer in it. It has less." You're getting ripped off.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
Well, America is
Normally-
12 ounces either way. Or they say it's 12 ounces.
Normally they have the milliliters printed on there too, but it didn't even have the milliliter on there.
No fucking milliliters. And the metric system is just for people who can't do math.
Well, yeah.
It's called fractions.
Well, no.
Son.
Yeah, I was gonna say
called
it's just
fractions,
people who don't
son.
like fractions.
Right. Fractions.
You know, we really get into the good content here.
Yeah, we really dive deep. Oh, let's see if anything else is breaking right now. But so apparently well, here's a little bit more. All right.
Oh wait, what's this? I see news here.
Is it the Sidney Powell?
No, this is something different.
Okay, because here's actually Sidney Powell's words. We just read somebody paraphrasing, but here's her actual words. She said, she told CBS News, "I understand today's press release. I will continue to represent we the people who had their votes for Trump and other Republicans stolen by massive fraud through Dominion and Smartmatic, and we will be filing suit soon. The chips will fall where they may, and we will defend the foundations of this great republic." It ends with the hashtag Kraken on steroids. So that's pretty interesting.
Well, that's good. Even though she's still on the case, anyways. Hopefully, she'll get some something done.
No, that's Trucker Friend.
That's Trucker.
It is Trucker Friend.
Trucker Friend, what says hello? He knows me as what, not as Aaron. So.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, how's it going?
Howdy, folks.
Who says hello?
Trucker Friend, what says hello? My wife.
What
from
buzz?
Twitter? What? WUT.
Why is this not ringing a bell?
I don't know.
I'm sure if I saw the AVI, I would know.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I joined because you guys were talking about piss jugs, and it's like, all right, I better hop on.
Very
there.
important things. Like
Now we've moved
piss
on
jugs.
to Sydney Powell. So
Well, we've been talking about her kind of off and on as news trickles in. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of worried about Tucker Carlson and what he. I mean, you guys heard about that?
Oh yeah, Tucker with the Pizzagate stuff.
I don't know. Well, his intro the other day, where he was kind of shitting on Sidney Powell, basically.
Yeah.
And now everyone's saying, "Oh, they finally cucked the tuck."
Yeah, and it did like. Cause I have been seeing some stuff popping around where it was like the old Comet Pizza and Bucks Camping stuff, and I think apparently Tucker was a frequented those establishments and stuff. So I don't know.
Pizzagate places?
Huh? Yeah, the Pizzagate places. Comet Ping Pong and Bucks Camping and Fishing or whatever.
Well, that's alarming.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yep. Yep. Man, I've seen some 4chan threads about it and stuff. Apparently, like, all his daughters date Jews and all kinds of shit. So
that's even bigger alarm bell than the even showing up at the Pizzagate places, to be honest. Because you could make an excuse why he might frequent a place where the shakers and movers of fucking Washington D.C. go, but how do you explain away your daughter shacking it with Jewish people?
Well, if it's more than, I think he's got a couple daughters, doesn't he? I mean, if like they're both dating a Jew, then
yeah, then that's good. Well, apparently, I guess they went to like boarding schools and stuff, so that's probably
I mean
the majority of the dating pool there, I would imagine. But
because it's I mean that's more normal than like dating a black guy or something.
Oh yeah, but still,
because the girl that's dating the black, that's always like daddy issues or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I'll show you, Dad. I'm gonna go date Tyrone.
Fuck, dude. I have a fucking daughter. I'm just so fucking worried I'm gonna fuck shit up. Oh. Very worrisome, dude. Very worrisome.
Oh man.
They get so much fucking. They get so much fucking propaganda, and they get so much fucking shit. And it's like, what do you do? What do you do? Right? Because you throw it on too thick, they're gonna fucking fight back against you.
Yeah.
If you're on too thin.
Yeah.
Same result.
But my daughter's pretty smart, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, as long as she's not liberal, she should be okay. Which is
but I mean,
an uphill battle for a young lady.
All women are to a certain extent, even if they're conservatives, are more liberal conservative than men usually.
Yeah.
But
that's why it's tough.
I've talked to some pretty wild ones, even on here. But we're talking about statistics and majorities, right? So.
I just realized something.
What?
I put out a tweet. I put out a tweet that said "eat shit." Some idiot, and there's an "eat shit" bot, and it automatically retweeted it, and apparently the account goes through and retweets everybody who says "eat shit."
I think I've come across that one before. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Oh, apparently there's a shortage of bacon and toilet paper across America right now. So
What'd you say?
There's a shortage of bacon and toilet paper. I blame Johnny. I personally
have to go to the store really quick. And
hold on, I gotta get an Uber.
Johnny's been
some bacon.
Johnny's been driving around the country collecting all the toilet paper and bacon.
I ate all the bacon.
So if you want to
Sorry,
send some hate mail, it's at
I
diet_MK
think it's just
Ultra
pork in general.
on Twitter.
He's taking all the pigs.
Yep, he's hoarding all the bacon and all the toilet paper.
But what does he do with it all? That's what we want to know.
That's
I don't think you want to know, bud.
Well, you see, when you eat that much bacon, you need that much toilet paper.
It is pretty greasy, yeah.
He's a QAnon supporter. It's all part of the plan.
I could squat over a canvas and it would be a modern art masterpiece.
You get some CIA funding that way.
Absolutely.
Just take a dump on a canvas. I call it toxic masculinity. Oh, here's 30 grand.
Who was it that was just like, you just wipe your ass with lettuce like a Mexican?
And we're not talking the lettuce you throw away. We're talking about the lettuce you wash later and eat. Save that shit, boy.
G News Canada is spitting out the link between Dominion Sequoia Smartmatic and the CCP. That's pretty interesting. What do you least know up there, bud? You holding out?
Some of us know a lot of shit.
Right.
Some of us, like me, don't know anything. But come to Texas so we can shoot our own bacon.
I know nothing. I'm but a simple trucker.
I'd say the same, but I think I might have known a little too much.
So Smartmatic. Why is there Smartmatic machines in America at all? That's a Venezuelan company.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a big bottle of
Smartmatic is such a dumb fucking name too. Like, what the hell? Smartmatic.
Better than Dominion.
Dominion's fucking stupid too. No, it's just
Like,
Smartmatic sounds like such a made up like movie. Like, this is the Smartmatic 3000. It will help you do your homework, do your chores, paint your house, and even walk the dog. The Smartmatic 3000.
It does sound like a 50s company or some shit.
It does.
How did you guys, how did the voting process work for you guys? I didn't vote this year. In 2016, I voted. It was the first and only time I voted.
You didn't vote this year?
No, I didn't vote this year.
No wonder fucking. You
Yeah,
could save all fucking truckers.
Do you realize that your vote counts as 7.8 billion votes? Just your vote alone? Because you are a POTUS trucker? That is how much your vote carries. That's how much weight your vote carries. And congratulations, you lost this election.
You had a month. You had a month
Well,
of early voting.
the
You could have voted in every state that you drove through in every district.
Why are there so many votes? The truckers are
The
just
reason I
laughing.
asked is because in 2016, when I filled my ballot out, I gave it to the lady, and the lady in front of me put it in a machine that I suppose theoretically counted it. Well, what I want to know is, this was in Ohio. I live in Ohio. What I want to know is that like how they do it for most of these states, or are these states touchscreens, or how did everybody vote? How does it get processed?
I got an absentee ballot when I was in, and I literally filled it out on my way to work and then dropped it off. Well, actually, no. I had to leave for work. I was late to get to my home terminal, and just sat down at the table because I was like, fuck it, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late because I voted. So I filled it out. Drop-offs were closed, so I gave it to my stepdad to drop off for me. But
okay.
He's a liberal, so he might have thrown it out. I'm just kidding. He didn't do that.
Stepdad, so,
They just gave me an early Christmas present, and it's a brand new laptop.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm using my mom's laptop right now, but they just presented me with that, and I was like, that's like the nicest thing ever. Because now I can get Photoshop, and I can make some stupid shit in Photoshop.
Did you scream at him and say, "You're still not my real dad"?
No, I never said that. I might have said that when I was young and stupid, but no, my actual, even my dad isn't my real dad. My real biological father passed away a few months ago,
Oh.
and I've never met
Sorry
him.
to hear.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was sad too because he was in his apartment alone, and they said the only reason they found out was because he hadn't paid his rent in a while, so he had been passed away for quite some time in his apartment.
Terrible,
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Yeah,
hear that, brother.
Listen.
Oh yeah, I forgot Dominion is a Canadian company.
Air Raid, you had
Yeah,
some explaining to do.
That's why it's coming out.
I was gonna say Dominion is a really Canadian name. We like that word. We like Dominion.
It's a subsidiary of like Lucifer Inc.
Well, we used to have like Dominion grocery stores and shit like that, and we were the Dominion of Canada.
Actually, the
Hey,
first
that
time I heard about Dominion was that's my gas provider. My what would that be? A natural gas provider. Dominion.
Your gas provider, huh?
Dominion.
What do you have in the works here? Are you
My
building
brat.
Were you about to say brap?
My brat, yeah, my brat provider.
Yeah. Hey, whoever asked about voting, that was how I voted. Pretty much, went into a computer or like a touchscreen, did all my votes. Little card came out. I gave it to a lady. She put it in, and it counted the vote.
Since I'm out of the country, actually, they let me vote online. Actually, I had to sign up for absentee voting since I'm out of the country, and so I actually voted through the Georgia website.
I had a theory on that.
What's that?
My theory on that was that because I wasn't going to be home on election day, my theory was that if I sent in an absentee ballot, that it would be counted incorrectly as a Biden vote. And so I decided that I would be better off not voting at all, which is why I didn't even do anything.
That makes sense. And I was in Walton County. I was registered in Walton County in Georgia. And when they were doing the recount, they found a few thousand votes on a memory card in Walton County. I'm like, you know what? I bet you my vote was one of those that was on that memory card, you know. Because it's a fairly rural county, you know, so I imagine.
My buddy just gave me a call telling me he bought me a copy of Ghost Recon Breaking Point, and he's sending it to me.
Cool.
It's a good time.
I always found the whole computer counting and voting fucking system awfully weird. I know we got different numbers of votes to count and shit like that, but in Canada we've always done it paper ballots.
Yeah.
It should be paper.
Yeah,
I mean,
you mark them and then they're counted by person, and then they have monitors watching every single counter, and we're talking on top of the fuckers.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do it here because, in Bulgaria, they have nothing but paper ballots, and every party that's involved, because they don't have a two-party system here, not even a default two-party system like in America. They have 7 fucking parties or something, you know?
Really?
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have more. The Europeans are weird that way. And
yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
Well, it's not necessarily better or worse. I mean, when you need to get shit done, you want a fucking, a solid fucking voting block and a solid government. You don't want these coalition fucking things going on. But I mean, I don't think Belgium has ever had a fucking one-party government in its history, for fuck's sakes.
Right.
They always have some sort of a coalition.
Well, not since probably in the whole history of Belgium, because...
Yeah. Because of their ethnic makeup, right? They got two separate, distinct fucking groups of people living...
Since there's been a Belgium, yeah.
Oh. It's almost like race and ethnicity matters.
It does. You can even be the same fucking race and they have different ethnicity, and it causes fucking problems.
Because the Flemish and the Walloons are very different. I don't even know why there's a unified Belgium. Like, it doesn't. There should be a Flanders and a Wallo. Well, what is it? Wallonia?
Once again, it had absolutely nothing to do with the people who were living there, right? Like,
no, it didn't. It had absolutely nothing to do with them. Because the French invaded Flanders. I have family that was from Flanders, ancestors. And then when the French invaded, they went to Yorkshire for a little bit and then went to America.
Yeah.
They were like, one generation was born in Yorkshire and then the next they were in America. So.
Hey guys, it's Steve. I just popped in.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, what's going on? I dropped a link in the chat. Jacob mentioned it, so we were all wondering what the tweet was that got Sidney Powell suspended for 12 hours, and it was just tweeting that link to a news article from G News.
Oh, it was the G News article that I got open here.
Yeah, so that somehow got her suspended from Twitter for 12 hours.
What was the G News article?
Here, I'll put the link. I'll put the link to it. That was
It's like explaining.
We'll drop it in the chats.
It's explaining who all the investors are on Dominion and Sequoia and Smartmatic. And
boy.
And it's linking it to
Venezuela, China.
This claim about election fraud has been disputed.
Oh, shit, I'm gonna go tweet this.
Yeah, I mean,
You said you dropped it in the. Oh, you dropped it in the D-Live chat,
boys.
right?
I'm gonna go grab some spaghetti.
Yeah, because I'm like,
this is the first time I've seen one actually just flat out get somebody suspended. So I think that's weird. Is it because they named the CCP? I mean, that would be weird if so.
Right. Who are the true owners of Smartmatic, and where is the company resident for tax purposes? Yeah, that's crazy.
And I think the article has a picture of George Soros at the top, but I didn't see any mention of him.
It does. It does.
Hey,
fucking psycho.
What's this website? G News Canada, huh?
Yeah, G News Canada, Toronto Maple
All the good
Leaf
info is
Farm.
coming from here.
Yeah, but it's owned by. It looks like it's owned by a Chinese guy.
I'm just saying the information is coming from Canada.
Shit. You're not going to believe this shit.
What's that?
I tweeted that link and I'm locked out for 12 hours now.
Holy shit.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Seriously, dude.
No, serious. I'm dead serious.
I believe you. I mean,
Hey, same thing happened to Sidney Powell.
Yeah.
Dude.
Trucker, are you serious? That just happened?
I'm dead serious. Where can I send this to?
Crazy.
Like Telegram?
Holy fuck.
Yeah, a while ago.
Don't tweet that link. Don't do that.
There was a picture of Joe Biden. It was like a collage of Biden and all his, getting touchy-feely with kids and everything. It was like there was a few of them floating around, and if you tweeted those, Twitter, what happened? They didn't lock you out.
10 seconds, they locked your account and demanded you delete the post.
Yeah, they do. They got all these weird things.
They wouldn't unlock your account until you deleted the post.
They demand you delete the post because that's dishonest.
Yeah, within the 10 seconds of you posting it.
That's misinformation during an election year.
What was it?
It was a bunch of. It was like a collage of pictures where Joe Biden. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos where Joe Biden is like groping these kids and women and mostly kids, but
the whole
it was just
like
a whole
Joe
bunch of those.
Joe,
Yeah,
gropey Joe,
like a million of those, and if you tweeted it out,
those that have been floating around for fucking a long time now,
Yeah, but like once it got closer to the election, it was like you can't tweet that out. No, you have to delete it.
Yeah.
But apparently, just putting the G News link will get you locked out for 12 hours.
Yeah, they're. I wonder how many people they have over at Twitter. Just like
Murray
we've got
says,
this team here of censorship police, and we're cracking down like nobody's business.
Murray says he got locked out for 12. Got a 12-hour lockout for retweeting a Gateway Pundit article. Didn't even comment on it, just retweeted it.
Yeah, this is what censorship looks like.
That's fucking crazy.
But hey,
Wow.
they're a private company. You know, they can do what they want, right?
Oh, my private company.
I couldn't even find that. I couldn't even find the article in a search. I tried using DuckDuckGo, which is usually pretty good. I couldn't even find that article on DuckDuckGo.
Well, how'd you find it in the first place?
Because just searching around on Twitter, somebody got a screen cap of it, and I entered in the URL, the direct URL, and that was the only way I could get the article.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to put G News in my news list. That's why I keep a million tabs open, because otherwise I'll forget to look places. You know?
Yeah. I know. I do the same thing. My wife's always yelling at me, like, "Why do you have so many tabs open?"
Right.
Because I need them.
I'll go ahead and I'll tweet out the screen cap of the tweet that got her suspended.
Yes.
Ooh. This must be good if it fucking works that fast. Jesus Christ, dude.
Because Sequoia is owned by Smartmatic.
Another guy said that he tweeted that link and the same thing happened to him. I posted it on Gab. Andrew Torbo retweeted or reposted it, or what do they call it?
Whatever they call it on Gab. I don't know. I don't remember what they call it, but. Well, that's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
That there must be some shit in there. I gotta read what it says, because that's obviously something's going on big time with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do suggest we all get on this freetalk.app, because
I joined. It's at Prenville.
Wow, this is a long article.
Yeah, it is.
That's why I hadn't read it all yet.
Lots of information.
What's this Free Talk app?
Freetalk.app. It's run by the One American News Network.
Not too long.
That's how I found it. And
write all this shit down.
So what is it?
Freetalk.app.
I mean, but like, what's?
Oh, it's just a social media. It's actually a WordPress plugin that I'm familiar with, but they run it. One American News runs it, and you just
So
need
they don't believe in censorship. Is that the angle?
Yeah, that's the angle. No censor. You can talk about whatever you want to. So they claim. I haven't really tested it too hard or anything, but all you need is a email to sign up. They didn't want, all the fucking crazy information that Parler wanted, so I was like, I'm going to support this one instead of Parler, because your information security, as a fucking cybersecurity expert, your personal data is actually, like, to me, just as important as being, if not more important, to be able to say what you want to, you know what I mean? And fucking Parler sitting there gathering all that information. But you can say whatever you want, right?
Yeah, this stuff I've heard that you have to, like, oh god, what do they say? Like, in order to do the private messaging, just like the DMs, like, you have to post a selfie of yourself.
Yeah, and you're probably
like,
your ID. Yeah, it's like fucking signing up for fucking.
It's like,
for
it's
Coinbase or something,
Yeah, like a bunch of crazy, like the stuff you would expect to do when you get a passport or something.
Yeah, if you look at
did we get confirmation that Cindy Powell tweeted that link and that's what happened?
Yeah, I just tweeted the screen cap of her tweet that got her locked out.
Well, we got confirmation that if you tweet that, you will get suspended. So
who said that? Steve? Steve said that?
Yeah, you can. I'm at ZSteve1.
All right, so let me look at this shit.
Sorry, you can get away with the screen cap for now.
The screen cap seems to be okay.
Yeah, it's a little harder for them to like, because like the link they can just be like put it in the algorithm. It's a little more difficult for fucking to do it with an image.
A raster image, and everything is done by algorithms now.
Yeah, all she did was put must read, put the link, Dominion voting system, hashtag Dominion voting system, hashtag election 2020, and then tag Donald Trump, Linwood, Maria Bartiromo, Jay Benall, Judge Janine, and Abigail Fry. So there's nothing. That's fucking crazy.
Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a fucking read through this when we're done here.
Yeah. Boy, people don't realize, like, it's bad. I mean, if Biden takes over and the rest of the deep state and all these progressives just entrench the government, like, that'll be it. Like, we'll be arrested for our wrong opinions. The censorship will be across the board on the internet.
Yeah.
It'll be over.
If Trump gets this, and I think he will, it's not the end all be all. It's not like we've won. But if he doesn't get it, we have fucking, like, dude, they're not gonna. There will not ever be another American election.
This is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, if you guys will not have any say ever again without a fucking Fed post. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, apparently we haven't for the past 20 fucking years. You know what I mean?
This is our last shot. Like if we don't do something now, we are fucked forever, and there's no going back.
Well, I wouldn't say that. It's not that there's no hope ever again. It's just it's going to be that much harder. You're not going to, like, once again, Trump, and I've said this before, Trump is kind of a political solution offered by the masses, by the actual people to the elites, as kind of a, hey, we can work things out, just stop fucking with us. And
they have responded in kind.
Yep. And if Trump loses power, then it's your political solution is gone.
Yeah, that's basically. I mean, that was pretty much Fed posting right when it happened. You know what I mean? So
the major issue is that we now, as opposed to times gone by, now the technology is so. I don't want to say. It's just far superior. The level of control that they're able to exhibit on us is much more advanced now, and this is why, in my opinion, there is no going back. This is the final.
That's why they centralized everything, like all the logistics for the food and everything, you know, and the just in time with the grocery store, the just in time deliveries with the grocery stores and shit, you know.
And I wanted to talk about that, the centralization a bit the other day, and I didn't really get into it, but without going into a whole other tangent here, if you look at all the things that they say, oh, there's this problem, and there's this, we need world government because of this problem, and, you know, food distribution and diseases running rampant and all this type of bullshit. Financial issues, we've got to, you know, revamp our financial system because of all these problems. The solution to all of that is decentralization.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I work on, is because you can actually use these benefits of where these centralized systems and stuff, you know, for logistics and stuff like that, because there are some benefits to it, but you can do it in a way where, like, that's the beauty of blockchain. So the stuff I'm building, it doesn't give any entity centralized control, but you have all the benefits of centralization because everything's on the one blockchain. Well, Even I decentralized the blockchains. Each app has its own blockchain and everything. And it's a system that works together, so it's even more decentralized in some ways.
Yeah.
You know, but
But
yeah,
it
but it gives
like
you
a
all
banking
those
system.
benefits. It gives you all those benefits without the major fucking drawback that very few people can control the whole fucking world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also like if you centralize and interconnect your power grid to the point where the smaller sections can't function without the main section, it means it can be shut down even accidentally. A big storm runs through. It's harder to fucking maintain it and make it work, right? Like you can't just separate it and go, okay, well that section broke down, no big problem. If the hub breaks, and everything's fucked.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with food distribution or anything else. And once again, if any of these
that's
people
not
were,
a bug. That's a feature. If they want to take
I know.
something out, bam, and all you have to do is take one thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great for them.
And so like if any of these people had intelligence, integrity, and honesty, they would not be saying what they're saying. And we know that. I mean, you guys know that. I know that. But the average person doesn't realize that. They think, oh, these people are really smart, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, they're either stupid or they're fucking liars.
That's why these leftards get me, because they act like they're fighting against the system, doing exactly what it wants.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
a joke.
They're enforcing.
They're enforcing the fucking will of the fucking.
They're the foot soldiers of the establishment.
Yeah.
Like literally, and they're being funded by them.
Yeah.
Like you tell them that, like, oh no, like I actually saw a few Antifa morons like having a conversation on Twitter, and the guy was like, look, yeah, your funding's coming from these corporations, like they're all supporting you, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's because like we're playing them, it's like we're out.
Yeah.
No,
okay. We're tricking them.
Yeah, like you meth addict losers going out there to like fight in the streets. I'm sure you guys are one step ahead of these people running these Fortune 500 companies. Yeah, okay, all right.
But here's the thing, like I haven't met in the past probably 10 years. I mean, maybe I have, but I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head. A single kind of left liberal, the Democrat type person. I know quite a few of them. I can't think of a single one of them who doesn't watch the fucking Netflix TV shows and the fucking the mass media shit. Not one of them is fucking counterculture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they'll pretend that they are.
Yeah.
And you go
like,
you talk to
it. Coming from there's like these big money institutions. How can you claim to be counterculture?
And somebody, a specific person I'm thinking of that I was talking to fairly recently is going on, we're against the establishment and the patriarchy and the blah 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 and starts talking about the TV show they're watching, and I'm like, I don't watch TV. And I am, they do this mental gymnastics thing where you're saying like, oh, I believe these things, and I don't partake in the mass media and the controlling society. And they have this like fucking like brain seizure where they're going, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. Like,
yeah.
I'm the establishment. No, that's not how it's supposed to work. But evil white men and just
like NPC fucking, programming breaking down.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking. It used to be funny. Now it's just fucking. It's scary.
Yeah, now it's a huge problem that we just are having to deal with constantly.
Yeah.
But like, I talked to people about this over 10 years ago, going like.
Actually, just logged in the fucking Gab for the first time in a year, probably. I'm like, oh shit, I got like 50 people to follow back now.
Yeah. What's your username on there?
Apu Walrus, all one word with capital A, capital W.
I don't remember the last time I've been in Gab. I hope I wrote down.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on Gab. I always forget because it's like there's so many damn social media sites. It's hard to keep up with all of them.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to like do a job 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I just, because like nobody was ever on Gab anyway, so, you know, I never really used it.
It's gotten a lot better. It does help in my situation. Andrew Torba has always been boosting my account, but I know everybody can't, you know.
Twitter is so bad now. Like, I should definitely branch out.
Well, if one link gets you a fucking just immediate suspension, like instantly, then we've got to be backing up
Just
more.
the link too. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually
How
really
dare you?
surprised about that.
How dare you?
I wasn't. I've seen that kind of stuff before. Like, that's
I've
not the
seen
first
it,
time.
But like, it just, I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it. But now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're really kind of revealing themselves with this whole election that just happened. I mean, the fraud that happened was like just so blatant, so obvious, and like we're reaching levels of just this third world type of corruption where they just, they just do it and then they say it's legit, but nobody really believes it, but they don't give a fuck. It's like, hey, we're in charge, that's it. Yeah, that's if you got a problem with it, we'll arrest you.
Yeah.
So a few other people have tried this link. They replied to me and said that one of them said any link that's posted on Twitter with G News will be an immediate 12-hour suspension. And then this other person tried it and was immediately locked out 12 hours. So yeah, it's not just like an isolated thing.
Yeah.
I would imagine that it's automated, because I seriously doubt that there's somebody at Twitter, clicking buttons every time.
Oh, well, definitely.
That's too fucking fast, dude.
Wait, so the entire website G News is banned on Twitter?
Apparently
so.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Is like Stormfront?
Not just banned. Anybody that shares it gets locked out of their account for 12 hours.
I assume. I mean, obviously it's automated, but I assume they have these people at Twitter, like particularly now during the election, because they've been preparing for this moment, that are just like standing by and looking for all the things that are trending. And it's like, oh, okay, here's an article that's making the rounds, and it looks like it's got some evidence of all the shit that we're up to. Oh, yep. Go ahead and put that on the list. I mean, it wouldn't take that many people. I mean, if you just had like a dedicated crew of people. Oh, it's the whole website?
It's the whole website.
Well, I've never heard of G News. Are they, someone said they're a Canadian company?
It says it's from Canada.
It says Toronto Maple Leaf Farm.
I guess they must be a right-wing sort of news
Owned by a
outlet.
Chinese guy.
Somebody said that the CCP is, let's see what this guy said. I don't know who this guy is or if he knows anything, but any linking to G News regardless of story will get you locked out. It happened to me. The enemy, the CCP, is terrified of G News.
I wonder, like, can you tweet out like Stormfront or one of the Daily Stormer, one of those like alt-right websites?
Good question.
Maybe. I mean, they're probably not as concerned with them. This moment.
They might actually see, because there were some that they just blocked the link, where you just actually physically can't do it. This is the only one I've ever seen where they ban you for 12 hours.
I love how they have all these different little methods. Like when you try to do a BitChute link, it'll say like, hey, this link is like, you know what I'm talking, I forget what they say.
Yeah, like BitChute,
like this
they
link
put
is
this looks
unsecured unsecured or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that like, a lot of people may think like, oh, well, maybe not click on that,
And then there was other ones I've seen.
Like then they've got the shadow banning. Then they've got the thing where they make you delete a tweet. Then they lock you out for 12 hours. Like they've just got this whole array of these tactics and methods to
they do it that way. They do it that way so that the average Joe, like if it's all one way, People are
Exactly.
People are gonna.
Yeah, they know
people
it's
are gonna
not going to
riot.
stop us, but like,
Yeah, it's easier to notice and pin it down.
Yeah.
Or it's like if it's all these other different little things, it's
What-
harder to.
Once again, they learned their lesson in 2016, 2017, right? Like they learned it big time. When we could go on Twitter and I mean, like, I got, I've got my account suspended last year from tweets from 2015, 2016, and 2017 that you guys you'd be like, you're an idiot if you tweet that today. But it took almost 5 years for somebody to go through all my tweets, and they're all deleted now, of course. But at the time, it took them, 5 years to find these tweets to suspend me for. And I'm talking about like strings of gamer words and faggot this and faggot that, like just not that you'd be like, it wouldn't take 5 minutes to get suspended for now.
you used to get away with that shit all the time on Twitter.
Oh yeah, but you could post anything, any link, anything. Like you could send spread information around.
You could literally say anything on Twitter.
Yeah,
even like
YouTube as well.
It wasn't until
YouTube was amazing.
YouTube, as long as there was no nudity, you were fine.
Yeah, and there, like, you could look up, whatever the latest little tidbit of news was. You could like search it, and then it would be,
and you'd get like a million hot takes on it and shit.
Yeah, well, it would be the YouTubers. It would be like the normal people. But now it's every single time it's all the like 20 pages of mainstream media outlets, like.
That's why people liked YouTube, because you could get a different take on it.
It's like, I can just watch the news for those takes. Like, I'm trying to find a normal person here.
Yeah.
Like, break things down.
Somebody who knows some stuff that, some different stuff, see what they have to say about it.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know.
Which I remember when Google bought YouTube, and we were saying then, like, oh, this is going to be a problem at some point, And sure enough.
Oh, when they bought, of course.
Facebook.
Do we as a collective...
Facebook, we expected it from the beginning, you know what I mean? Because, like.
Oh, yeah. Facebook is fucking, yeah.
Do we have do we have a collective idea as to how do I say this without Fed posting? Do we have a collective idea as to how the future is going to play out?
I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I think that...
and I wouldn't worry about Fed posting.
All out war.
I think it ain't going to be good.
I wouldn't worry about Fed posting. Fed posting is apparently a Fren Report Live tradition. So,
I think
that
I hardly
hence my name.
Yeah.
I hardly think calling for nuclear holocaust across the entire planet is really Fed posting. Come on, like, cut the guy a break.
It's not like he's actually capable of doing that. So
exactly.
What do you know? Wait a minute. I'm the president.
It's
so,
not exactly a credible
stupid
threat. Like, haha, that's what I want you to think.
Currently working with at POTUS Trucker right now, the 46th President of the United States, to develop a weapon strike plan to wipe out Israel and other subsequent nations doing business with them.
Yeah, I should have known.
I think that Israel's going to start working very closely with the Chinese Communist Party, if they aren't already.
They are.
And that's going to be the new world empire. And the whole Great Reset is just the West preparing to be under that umbrella. And sometimes I like to kind of look at biblical prophecies a little bit, and it talks about the beast from the sea, but in addition to the beast from the sea, there's also the dragon. And I think the dragon, which praised the beast, the dragon is the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah.
That fits.
That makes sense.
and here's the thing: whether or not you believe in the the accuracy or you know, whether these kind of predictions, particularly from the Bible, pertain to our exact time or whatever, you got to look at this shit and go like, well, this kind of all fits, man. Like,
yeah,
even if it's a fucking coincidence, it fits, and it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And actually,
like
I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, somebody had said, it might have been Henry Ford himself, but somebody had said about the protocols of Zion. It doesn't matter if it's an accurate, you know, original, true document. It matters what's in it and if it fits.
Yeah, the fact is that it's pretty undeniable that that's what's happening.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was going to say, Airade. That's crazy. Yeah, there's nobody knows whether it's a fraud or not.
Yeah, whether it was an actual document or not, it was somebody wrote it that knew what the fuck was going on.
It makes a whole lot of sense.
Either they knew or they're really good at fucking guessing, and it's irrelevant if it is or not, right? Because if it's true, it's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, you can't even get through like 3 pages of that thing before you just get this sick feeling and have to stop.
Yeah, because you're like, now I've heard, like, you know, especially back in the day on YouTube, there used to be all kind of, oh, it wasn't actually the Jews, that's the Illuminati's fucking. But then you look at the Illuminati and they
There's
were
Jews in it.
formed by the Jesuits, and the Jesuits were fucking crypto, you know, fucking Loyola was a crypto.
Well,
it's the Jews.
So,
there was a Kabbalah
it
guy.
always goes back to them, you know.
There was a Kabbalah guy too.
Yeah.
It's always informed by these rabbi Kabbalah type guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it's to the point where you kind of just you want to see some, like, can there just be another evil plot that just doesn't always lead back to this certain small hat group of people?
It would be nice, actually.
There just
It would
be
a fucking
one
nice break. It'd be a nice
It's
break.
always the Jays.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, quite honest.
Just once I'd like it to be somebody different.
Like, great, 'cause, like, when you try to like explain this and how everything, like every single thing, and just goes back to them, and like I don't know, it makes you like look crazy sometimes when you try to tell this to people. And I wish it wasn't every single thing and that you could trace back to it.
I don't even like talking or thinking about them, for fuck's sakes, but every goddamn thing I look into leads that right. So it's like, I don't care about these people. I just, you know, if they have their own little fucking country and mind their own business, I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't care. Either way. I don't care what they do to their dicks. I don't care what they fucking, you know, what kind of fucking goats they fuck. Not interested. But the
They
fact
already
is,
have a country. It's called Transylvania.
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 I used to make YouTube videos.
My God.
I was making YouTube videos for a while, and I was making this video about the architecture in America and, you know, Europe as well, and how, you know, it used to be so beautiful and amazing, and at some point in the last century it seems to have shifted, and, you know, I was just kind of making a video about that, researching that sort of thing, and like I was like trying to get to the bottom of, like, when did it change? Why did it change? Oh, geez. So, can you imagine what I found? Imagine my shock.
Right.
Yeah.
Every
Was
single
this certain
time.
group? Yeah. It's
It's
like, hey, this is one time where I really was like, I was not trying to find that, you know?
Right, because there was like in the conspiracy community, probably about 10 years ago or so, there was like a big argument over whether it was the Jesuits who run everything through the Vatican or if it was the Jews who run everything. And then you look at the Jesuits and you realize Loyola was a crypto, and then you realize, wait, that you're arguing the same point basically.
Yeah.
Well, even just like a random obscure topic that popped in my head just now, the Boy Scouts. Where it's like you see how they have gone off track. They're letting girls into the Boy Scouts now, and there's all these pedophiles. And it was like,
and now they're getting sued to oblivion.
They recently hired some woman who was like their, you know, PR person, and, you know, sure enough, she was Puerto Rican.
Those damn Amish getting in every fucking where.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I gotta piss, but talk amongst yourselves.
It's the Finnish people, the Puerto Ricans. It's always it's always a different weird group of people, but they always wear the same hats. I don't know. I don't get it.
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
If the religion does not involve a hat, it's probably a good religion. You'll notice they all include hats except for one, Christianity. They don't see fucking hats there.
No, that's not true. But that's not.
The Pope is Catholic. The Pope is Catholicism is not Christianity.
Whoa.
I would say it might be the church might be corrupt now, but that doesn't mean Catholicism itself isn't Christianity.
Well, I'd say, I mean, like, here's my honest opinion of it. Like, you're either a Christian or you're not a Christian. And now I understand that's incorrect. That's just a personal view, and I respect anyone who is a Catholic. I respect their decision into what they believe. Yeah. But it's
you have to look
belief.
at what defines a Christian. A Christian is somebody that believes Jesus Christ is the Son of God and that He died on the cross and was raised from the dead. That's the definition of a Christian. Everything else is up for debate. And Catholics, Orthodox, Protestants, evangelical, non-denominational, they all agree on this. Unless you're like a Mormon who thinks that specific thing is up for debate, or you're a Jehovah's Witness, then you're by definition a Christian.
Yeah.
And the Catholic Church is the original church to an extent.
Yeah, the Orthodox would beg to differ.
Back. Well, you can say
actually they have they definitely.
Well, to go back on the original. I just don't like the idea of needing a middleman to talk to God.
And you see that
speaking of the
middleman
Orthodox,
today,
they
super
don't.
woke.
Yeah.
So you have to realize is that when the Catholic Church was at the height of its power, most people were illiterate, and Bibles were hard to acquire.
Well, they did that for a reason. They wrote them in Latin, while no one else spoke Latin except for the priests.
Yeah, but we also didn't have printing presses. That shit had to be written out by hand.
And they had to do it in a language that was. They had to do it because they were in so many countries, and there were like way more languages in Europe even than there are now, and so there was quite. They all had to use the same language to be able to talk to each other.
That Christianity was originally the continuation of the Roman Empire, right? So everywhere that they were speaking Latin. The nobility was, at least, even if the regular people weren't. Right, the learned class, educated class, they were all speaking Latin, or at least knew Latin, because that was the language of the state, right? And if you go into the Eastern Empire, there's a lot more Greek because
it was all in Greek. Well, and the New Testament was originally written in Greek for the most part.
Yeah, because they were that was the language of the state, right? And that's what was important. It wasn't about anything else at that time. It might have become something more of that, but and there's the argument of with the Protestant argument, the Martin Luther argument of.
That was actually why it was a big deal when they created the Cyrillic alphabet, and then they could translate it into Old Church Slavonic.
Yeah.
The other thing is that for centuries, most churches, regardless of the actual religion or faith, were basically led by the clergy, and the clergy were the ones that read the text and were the ones that explained what it meant. I mean, when like for instance, when the Jews first came back from Babylon to Israel, all of their scrolls were written in Hebrew, and none of them spoke Hebrew anymore. They all spoke Aramaic.
Yeah.
And they would have had to have rewritten all of this stuff in Aramaic, and that would have lost the meaning of the text in a lot of ways. And so there's always been a clergy that's been sort of the gatekeepers for the actual scriptures themselves. And it's only within the last few centuries with the development of the printing press that we've actually changed that. And that's kind of where the Protestant church came from.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the whole thing about the print the Bible in German, and and I'm not arguing for or against this idea, but the whole idea of the individual Christian being able to have his own communion with God without any intermediary. I understand that, but it was there was a technological hurdle that had to be bound before that. Like, it wasn't just because 800 AD they just couldn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Well, and like that, because in the East you had I was talking about, everything was in Greek before that, and that's why it was a big deal for it to, and all the church services were in Greek and everything in the Eastern Orthodox Church. And well, except in Egypt where they did it in Coptic, but that's why it was a big deal when they created the Cyrillic alphabet so they could translate the Bible into Old Church Slavonic, and then the Eastern European people could actually do church services in their own language and stuff, and understand what was going on. It was actually, I think it was before the printing press they did that. But they still managed to keep they didn't have a big schism because of it, because of autoencephaly and shit, where each nation has their own church and they form, they organize however they'd like to, and then the patriarchs all form their council and everything.
Yeah.
And there's not like one man who says, I'm the fucking intermediary between God and man on earth,
Yeah. You also got to remember that in the Western side, there was the whole position of the Pope was political, right? Like, it wasn't the Pope wasn't necessarily, I'm the only guy who understands this shit and has a telephone to fucking God. It was, I'm in control of the church and therefore I have political power, and they argue about whether or not the emperor or the king has more right or more power than the greater church. There's all kinds of levels of this shit that's, it's less has less to do about religious ideas than it does to do with earthly things.
Guys, Chris Hemsworth is going to play Hulk Hogan in a new movie.
HH.
Yeah, dude. I know, right? They're making a Hulk Hogan movie. It's going to be fucking based, brother.
I don't know.
It took me like 2 or 3 months to realize what those HH meant.
Yeah.
6 Grillion? I don't think so, brother.
I don't think so, brother. Take your Showa and show it up your ass, brother.
The math ain't adding up, brother.
What doors, brother? I don't think so, brother.
I'm just not sure. I don't know. I think Chris Hemsworth is a little too pretty to play fucking Hulk Hogan.
Well, he's like Jack. He's absolutely massive now. He's been prepping for that part, so he looks like a fucking.
No, sure, but you can't fix that fucking face. I mean, it's.
Yeah, with a fucking goatee, dude, with just like that sticky shit. That's those sticky mustaches you get at the costume store.
No, what I'm saying is, like, part of Hulk Hogan's charm is he's got this like mutt face. Like, he's like.
They could probably use prosthetics too.
Yeah. I think they should hit him in the face with a shovel, and then maybe it'd be better. Have that, like, I've seen some shit fucking, I've had my face mashed into the mat fucking 1,000 times face, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just looked up. I don't even know who Chris. I mean, he's the guy who played Thor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he might be able to pull it off.
I'm sure he can.
He
I was just teasing him for being prettier than me. And I'm not bad looking either, but fuck, you can't compete with fucking Hemsworth's face. Jesus.
Or his brother.
Let me tell you, if I walk into a bar, sometimes a couple girls look over at me, but if he walked in after me, they would not fucking remember me.
You'd be pissed. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, like, oh, fuck. He walked in? Shit.
God damn it. He's
No,
like,
dude.
I'm going to keep following you, brother.
I'll put it-
How do Australians sound? How do they talk? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't do an Australian accent. I don't know. Does anybody here do one?
Yeah. Oh, he might.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I know
follow
Australian.
you into every bar you go into and keep taking all the women from you.
No. Here's what they do. They got a weird thing with their accent where they will take away their R's in spots they should be, and then they will put R's. In
Put
spots.
R's where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
They will be like, "Nar." What are you talking? Nar.
Well, it's like, okay.
No, you can't do it.
I lived in a part of Canada that's very, very heavy Irish descendants, but I mean, we're talking like 200 years ago, over 200 years ago, and around 200 years ago, and they say "warsh."
Warsh.
For wash, right?
An idea.
It's like, fuck, dude. There's no R in that word. What the fuck are you even talking about?
Don't people in the South do that too, though?
Yeah, Okies do that.
I mean, not most people for sure. Like,
I think they do that in Ireland too.
I mean, I've heard some people in like South Carolina, I think, say it.
Yeah.
They will say like turlet.
I've heard that one too. Yeah, I've heard that one too. Yeah. Go to the turlet. Like,
I'm fucking clog the goddamn turlet.
There's no fucking R.
Otis Trucker was talking about clogging an industrial toilet today.
Yeah, I did.
An industrial toilet.
Talks about how the hell that happened.
Is that even a
turlet?
Is that a term?
Turlet. An industrial toilet?
Like,
Absolutely.
look, we've got industrial toilets here.
That
Okay?
absolutely is a thing. So those are the toilets that go. Those are the toilets that deafen you when you flush them.
Oh, the ones that are like.
Yeah, they sound like a fucking jet engine.
Commercial grade.
You know what's the worst? When you go into those toilets and they have the little automatic sensor. So when you're done like pooping and then you lift up to get the toilet paper and then it automatically flushes and you're just like
it's like an unhelpful bidet.
Yeah, it flushes and then you're like, oh, hold on, I wasn't ready. Oh my god, it's like splashing up in me.
I was gonna get up and look at it first. No.
I had to put this on Twitter. You didn't even let me take a picture.
Hold on, I gotta post that
that?
shit.
Do you guys remember that website, ratemypoop.com?
No.
Oh yeah, we were all really big on that one, right?
That was the best middle school fucking shit.
I'm sorry, rapemypoop.com.
No, rate.
Rate.
Okay,
Fucking
well
degenerate.
that's a little better, I guess.
The original pee pee poo poo posts.
Oh God! Speaking of pee pee poo poo, I'm sure my wife told you last night. we saw Nick Fuentes live in person. And,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Speaking of
we
pee
went
pee
down
poo
to the governor's mansion and everything.
All of the Chads are on Alex Jones'
We
side.
saw
All
this
the
guy.
nerds are on
Yeah.
Fuentes' side.
Well, it sucked because Alex Jones, he had to go back to Austin because his kids were, I don't know, something. We talked to the one of the InfoWars chicks.
My son and daughter are trying to fuck each other again. I gotta go down there and stop them.
And he's like, look, I got to go to Austin, okay? There's a real deal on vitamins. I gotta get it, okay? My business is gonna collapse if I don't get this deal.
The new caveman gaming supplement.
We got
What percentage of our following is what do they call them, knickers? As opposed to,
I hate knickers.
You hate knickers?
They're the worst. Oh, sorry. I said.
Oh,
Nick,
you got
knickers.
something.
You hate jockers or knickers?
No, I was just making a joke about that whole name.
I know.
The Knickerbocker.
That's stupid.
Ruining it.
But listen, I will say, I said this on an earlier stream. Nick Fuentes was out there. Okay, he was rallying the troops. He got people out there, as well as Alex Jones. Got people out there, you know, actually doing something. We went to the governor's mansion.
No,
Michael, you and I are eye to eye on Nick Fuentes, but Jacob does not want to talk about him.
No,
is that right?
For a very good reason.
Not a fan.
I don't know anything about him at all.
He's he's very talented in his analysis and ability to stay up with all the topics and to, you know, he's a good speaker.
He does seem like, I mean, if you're able to build a following like that, and I think he's a little bit younger than me.
He's incredibly capable for his age, and I've met him before in person, and I thought he was just sharp as a tack.
Yeah, he's very quick. He was out there. I mean, he's one of those people that can talk and actually just, you know, continuously for 30 minutes, an hour, you know, a couple hours, and just keep, you know, just keep it going without stopping and actually have shit to say, which is what he was doing at the protest in Atlanta. And then we went to the governor's mansion.
Are you guys talking about Jones or Fuentes?
Well, both of them. But Fuentes, but, you know, Alex Jones obviously is someone who can do it. But, you know, he didn't make it. Jones was there for when did the protest start? I think it was Wednesday.
He was there Tuesday, Friday.
Was it? Yeah, Tuesday through Saturday. And then Jones was only there Tuesday through Friday because he had to go back, whatever. But there was that Ollie G guy, like when me and Aaron went.
Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I know, right? It was Ollie G, and then one of the, you know, cute-looking girls that works at InfoWars. She's, you know, she comes on the show all the time. You know, she was there. They were both talking and, you know, doing their best, I guess. But at one point, they were like, "Oh, I'm going to hand the mic over to Alex Jones." And we're like, "Oh, nice. Alex Jones, he's coming." And then she pulls out her cell phone and she's trying to, like, put the phone up to the megaphone that she was talking through.
Yeah.
Like her literal cell phone. And, you know, of course, it wasn't working. It wasn't working
That
at
is
all.
cringe.
Yeah, that's, like, horrible. And everyone's like, "Oh, really? Okay, this is your, hey, I'm going to hand the mic off to my cell phone." And Alex Jones is on the other side. Like, oh, come on. And then eventually Nick came over and, you know, of course, he was able to hold the crowd because he can speak a lot better than certainly Ali G. Yeah, I don't know about that guy. His fucking face is like, his chin comes out like 7 or at least like 3 feet in front of his. The rest of his,
like, what's his name? Robbie Rotten from that one meme show everybody liked a long time ago.
You're talking about the based.
Look at this patriotic hat that I just found.
Yeah, I don't know what he is.
The base black homosexual that they got
He's
now.
like, no, not that. It was like he's like, I don't know what he is. He's like half black, half Indian or something. He's like very dark looking, but like
Sammy Davis. Sammy Davis.
Yeah, he's Sammy Davis except a little bit uglier.
Yeah.
That's the guy. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to shit on Fuentes because I don't really care. I mean, if he does good, great. But if
you piss me off for reasons,
well,
good reasons.
I'll put it this way: if Fuentes is the best kind of organizer that's on our side, then we're fucked.
Then we're fucked.
He
does not have leadership qualities.
No, but it's not even that, dude. It's if you're a smart guy and you have a lot of potential, and I think he does, you don't fucking you don't run off in the first fucking race. You go and you get some life experience, and you can say, hey, well, you're a fucking boomer and you don't get it and blah blah blah. I'm like, I do, I fucking get it. I get it. I have fucking I was there. I was a young
I've done this
guy.
before, but
done this shit. And I'm not even gonna get into. I won't get into any specific. I'll just leave it at that.
Do you guys think Chris Kyle would have been a good guy we needed right now?
Who's that?
Chris Kyle?
Yeah.
American Sniper?
He probably would have been based.
I think the U.S. government murdered him. I think they hired that guy
Another
to go.
MK Ultra.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Because I feel like he'd actually get people together to go out and start hanging
out.
people.
Yeah, he'd have some things to say right now, probably.
Yeah.
You don't think that he would just end up being like Dan Crenshaw?
Absolutely not. No.
No. Because Dan Crenshaw is still alive.
Yeah, and that's a good fucking. Honestly, that's a huge fucking point. If you were not demonized,
he lost an eye though for Israel.
He probably got poked in the fucking face by a dick. He probably got poked in the eye with a dick, with his boyfriend's dick.
Yeah, I think I did see something about it. Like he lost his eye from something completely unrelated to like.
It's like Nick Fury, he gets his eye taken out by a cat.
I don't want to put out false information, so I'm just not going to talk about it because I don't remember what it was. But like.
So once again, hopefully Fuentes is happy and successful and continues, getting smarter and learning about life and doesn't have gay sex with cat boys.
Yeah.
He's 3.
I get kind of annoyed though when people say like this person or that person can't be in our movement because they're friends with this person or that person.
No, yeah, I agree with that, absolutely. And this is just Twitter, mind you, but I mean, like, I don't care, I don't differentiate. If you're like I have people on my fucking feed all the time who are absolute fucking knickers, and we're mutuals. Sorry,
gamer word.
You said knickers, right? Nick Fuentes.
Knickers.
Fans of Nick Fuentes.
And yes, sorry. And I don't block them or give them shit for if they say something that I view as stupid. I mean, if I see something that's, absolutely retarded, I might fucking comment on it. But other than that, I don't want to interfere. I don't want to fuck with people. I don't want to discourage anybody. And that's a fucking huge thing, is I don't want to discourage people. Especially if there's even the fucking slightest chance of them being effective.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't care. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I thought it was pretty funny when Nick Fuentes blocked me. I'm like, I know why, because I said a specific
he's a total
thing,
block
but
bag.
it's like, whoa, it's a big thing. It happened to fucking like 90% of Twitter. Big win, right? But I couldn't, I couldn't care less as long as he's not being fucking destructive. And I try to, especially the young guys, just give them a little hint. Like, don't fucking, I'm not saying don't stop following or interacting with them, but just be fucking smart. Be smart. Think about what you're doing. Think about who you're talking to. Think about what you're saying. Think about what they're saying. And if you follow somebody, then go, okay, don't join a cult. Go look what this person is doing good, what they're doing bad, and go from there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be like if people started, like, if somehow I became an internet success and people started following me, I'd be discouraging people from it. I'd be like going, like, listen, guys, like, if I say something smart, run with it, cool. But don't get too invested, because I'm not a perfect fucking person, dude.
how quickly that changed with Owen Benjamin. He used to be like always saying like, "Oh, don't listen to me too much. Don't take stock in what I have to say too much. I'm not starting a cult or anything." And now you like go to watch a show, and out of all
Dude,
the streamers
this is-
on DLive,
Yeah,
nobody feels more like a
Temptation.
cult.
he went a weird direction. Like the whole fight between Owen Benjamin and Nick Fuentes, and it was like
That was a turning point for
it's
sure.
like Owen Benjamin takes beef because, like, he starts talking about the moon landing and like, oh, Fuentes, oh, it's like he made a comment about how the moon landing is not real, or it's like, what, because Owen Benjamin is like, just he talks about the moon landing, I think personally entirely too much. And I forgot what Fuentes said, but
He just said, "I don't agree with everything." He said, "I don't agree with everything that Owen
Yeah,
Benjamin."
yeah, it
said."
was like nothing, and it was just like, what the fuck? It's like, what is this whole thing about? And
That guy's nuts. I mean,
yeah, it was all on Benjamin.
He
Like-
makes some great content, but
Owen
overall, he's
Benjamin
nuts.
is literally a fucking. He is mentally ill.
Yeah, I used to like him until he just like went off the deep end.
Yeah, I used to like him. Like
I'm gonna fucking
few years
attack
ago or
Fuentes
whatever.
because he made fun of me for
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the moon landing when like he didn't even specifically call that out.
You guys
but-
ever watch Revenge of the Sis?
Revenge
No.
of the Sith.
They're fucking hilarious. They're like the funniest,
they a group?
the funniest guys on right wing. There's two guys, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. who you're
I'll
talking
check
about.
them out. I'll check them out. Can you throw a link in the Fren Report
Revenge of the
chat?
Sith.
Yeah, for sure. I watch them. That's why our show is it's supposed to start at 6, but I'm always a little late because
Oh, you're checking them out.
yeah,
You're
5
watching
days a
them.
week they do their Monday through Friday they do their show from 4 to 6. So
Nice.
Speaking of not discouraging people, when we were at the protest at the governor's mansion, there was this like gay guy, this gay
Yeah.
reporter who, I don't know, apparently he was talking to my wife at some point, like, it's like, yeah, man, if I can be converted, so can all these liberals. And then we were talking later, and we were talking about Twitter and Jack Dorsey, and I was like, Jack Dorsey, I was like, oh, that faggot, he's got a nose ring. And the guy was standing right next to me. I was like, oh, no offense, right? I was like, you're gay, right? Okay. He was like, oh, yeah, because I could tell he turned around and looked. I was like, oh, I forgot you were standing there. But
Dude, I got a good one. I was at a Patriots prayer rally, and there was this tranny, MAGA tranny, that was like a QAnon person, and she was talking to one of the wives of one of the Proud Boys, and I called him a she. That killed me, but this tranny person says to the lady that they should start a female version of the Proud Boys. And she just like has no response.
I think that's a good idea. They could get sandwiches. They can get water.
they could be medics.
They can get married and have babies. No, I think that's a wonderful fucking idea.
Exactly.
It's probably not what she meant, but
Yeah. The
Fucking
female
Ricky
version of the
Schroeder's-
Proud Boys. We need your help. We need the vans are not cheap. The soccer moms need these minivans. Okay,
Yep.
we need your funding.
Ricky Schroeder's out here Fed posting on Twitter.
Ricky Scrotum.
Yeah. Because he like helped get Kyle out of jail.
Yeah.
So like Angelo was trying to dox him and shit. So he like took screenshots of like, well, Ricky Schroeder has a publicly available address and blah 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 blah. And he's like, he took a screenshot of a bunch of that shit. It was
Dude,
like, is
I didn't know
this the
Schroeder
country
was
you want to
famous.
live in?
I
he
saw
put
that.
Right, and he put that and him holding the fucking AR. I think it's an AR. I didn't look at it that close, but
I
holding
saw
the
that.
gun.
Yeah, Ricky Schroeder.
Fucking
Got
Ricky
fucking
Schroeder.
yeah, I did not know he was
Kyle
fucking
out
based.
of jail, man.
Oh no, it's a shotgun actually. I think. But
It's funny. I remember I kind of tweeted about this.
Poor
about
guy.
wanting to watch NYPD Blue. I remember watching that show back in the day and going like, that guy's like a fella I want to fucking sit down and have a beer with.
Yeah.
Ricky Schroeder?
Yeah. And I might be wrong, but fucking, I remember thinking that, watching that show, going like, that's the guy on this fucking TV program that I'm like, there's something about, he's like, he's down, man, he's down, but maybe he's not.
I mean, I'm of the age where
maybe he's not.
I'm of the age where we grew up watching Silver Spoons all the time, so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Ricky Schroeder was the man back then.
Yeah. I wonder if it's Schroeder or Schroeder. But I'd be surprised. I haven't really liked him yet, so.
Do we have an idea on how the Rittenhouse thing's going to play out?
That's a good question.
Him with Ricky Schroeder. Here it is, right here.
He's gonna get off.
If not, we could always do another. What was the Bundy Ranch situation where we just get enough armed people to prevent the feds from?
I wonder.
coming in and
I
taking
feel
them?
like it depends on whether or not Trump gets, gets the election, or whether Biden gets it. Like, if Biden wins, then the prosecutors will be like, yeah, whatever, okay, go ahead and prosecute him. If Trump wins, they might be like, oh, okay, all right, well, we might have to do the right thing here. I mean,
he didn't. He's not the same case as James Fields. I think that he was within his legal rights.
no, but the fact that they prosecuted him for first-degree murder in the first place,
Yeah.
it's like, what? Like, it's just a sign of.
If there's an even slightly activist judge where, he's in fucking trouble. But I mean, with like James Fields, he got in a fucking car accident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because Murray Cohen's someone we thought Fields was going to get off too, and there's no way he could have got convicted, yet somehow he did.
There's no.
Who's James Fields? What did he do?
He's the Charlottesville guy who killed the poor Heather.
He didn't kill anybody.
He didn't. No, he did not fucking.
She had
kill
a
her.
heart
I don't even know
attack.
if
He was nowhere
hit
near her.
What are you talking about? He targeted Heather Heyer. He was like driving along.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Heather Heyer was on a sidewalk.
You're out of your mind. That is not what happened.
He hopped up on the sidewalk and was like, "I'm gonna run this bitch over." There's a recording of him saying that, and he was like, "I'm a Nazi. I'm a white supremacist."
If
that all happened.
The amazing thing is he didn't hit her because she's such a fucking giant lard ass fucking piece of garbage.
Fat bitch.
It's like the chances of him not hitting her were like fucking 1 in a million.
No. Seriously, I was kidding. He was swarmed by a bunch of leftists, BLM retards, as
they had a gun. It was an AR-15,
these recent protests. Okay. So he's like, damn, I got to gun it. I got to get away from these people who are swarming my car.
Mm-hmm.
And then he runs into another car, and it was like 3 cars down the line. She
wasn't hit by a car.
Like
she
2
died
or
of a
3
heart
cars
attack.
in between them, the car that hit Heather Heyer.
No car hit Heather Heyer. She died of a heart attack.
Yeah,
Is that true?
I think she got hit by like 2 or 3 cars ahead of James Fields, and then she died of a heart attack. But
she died of a cheeseburger, man.
He wasn't like ran over.
I'd say
he was like
McDonald's
20
is more
yards away
guilty
from
than James
her.
Fields.
He was like 20 yards away from her.
We're like, if you get hit by a car, just like tapped by a car, and you get knocked over, like a normal person would be fine. But because she was like morbidly obese, she had a heart attack.
He was a planet.
Yeah,
James was the one with the dog, right?
She was a planet that
planet.
Had things orbiting around her. She, like, that wasn't, the car wouldn't have normally hit her, but because she had a gravitational pull,
it was
the car
about to say that.
gravitated towards her, and she had a heart
They
attack.
didn't even take that into account. They didn't even take that into account. If he had steered away, he still would have fucking been pulled into her from her fucking massive ass's fucking gravitational pull.
Yeah, the gravitational pull, right? Like, I was trying to get away, but
She,
in.
fun fact, she didn't need pockets. She just keep her Newports.
You've seen that video of the black gal with all the shit
around her.
Dude, you seen the video of the black gal with all that shit under her fucking rolls and shit? She's like, "Oh, I got my hairspray here and my fucking makeup here." Have you seen that?
That is literally disgusting. Stop talking.
That bitch got nothing. Had nothing on Sally Field. Or sorry, fuck, what's her name?
Sally Field.
Yeah. No, the Heather
Heyer.
Yeah.
Mrs. Fields, the cookie
Hayer,
place.
however you
That's
say
where
it.
that bitch eats.
Fuck, dude. No, and there's a guy. There's no legal reason to put that fucking guy in jail for anything other than dangerous driving or some sort of traffic infraction.
Can somebody explain to me that I never really followed exactly what happened with the James Field guy, but from the video I saw, I thought that he intentionally drove into those people.
No, some guy smashed the back of his fucking car and he fucking stepped on the
Yeah,
gas
and he was
slammed
getting
on the
swarmed
brakes.
by Antifa. Somebody was smashing into the back of his car, but somebody else also had a fucking gun they were pointing at him, and that's when he hauled it.
Yep. Somebody was chasing him earlier. And the guy isn't fucking, like, James Fields isn't a fucking genius, dude. Like, no offense
No,
to him,
he's
but
he's not
clearly
winning
not a
any
very fucking bright guy.
Nobel Prizes anytime soon, you know.
No, so he was a fucking scared, low intelligence fucking guy caught in a fucking dangerous situation. Yeah, he's not an old guy. He's a young
Yeah,
fella.
like early 20s, I think, wasn't he? Something like that.
Well, yeah, look, I
exact
mean, you've
age.
seen these videos recently of these recent BLM protests where these people are in their cars and they get swarmed by these...
Yeah, and they're like, fuck this, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and they're like, well, there's...
I'm telling you right now.
There's one where the guy, you know, like, they're trying to drag him out of a car, but he happens to have a gun, so he shoots one guy and he runs off. It's like, oh, yeah, we got to arrest that guy. And then there's another one where he just kills this guy. Same situation. He has a gun. It was funny. Like, they talked about that on InfoWars. This guy was like, yeah, we're out here. You remember the guy who had he was like a white guy. I think he was a ginger. And
he was that libertarian retard.
Yeah, he
who
had
was dating
a
the communist.
girlfriend.
Rusty Shackelford said,
He had a
bitch looked like
girlfriend
a
that was
busted
like
can
a-
of biscuits.
Girlfriend was like a quadriplegic or a
It's
like
just-
3 missing limbs, whatever you call that.
Yeah.
And right
That's
before
1 out of 4 is not bad.
yeah, he's talking to somebody, and he's like, "Yeah, I think most people they're just like too big of pussies to really, you know, say anything about us or do anything about it." And then like minutes later, you know, he's fucking with some guy.
He got plugged by an Uber driver who was an Air Force captain who was also a furry. Air Force Captain Furry or the Uber driver.
What a way to go.
Oh yeah, his girlfriend had no arms and no legs too.
Yeah, but he had an AK and he was pointing it at the driver. He was pointing an AK-47 at the driver.
Yes, somebody else was shooting there too, right? Somebody else.
Yeah, he fired his gun
And it's
into
like
the
they try to pull these
fired
people
the
out of
guy,
their
yeah.
cars, and it's the same situation as James Fields. You know, it's like you're in your car, you're getting swarmed by pro. You're like, oh god, you panic, and then
No,
you know you.
But here's the thing, like, if I was dropped in that situation, my car would have been parked and I would be fucking disappeared. But I'm not a young fucking punk who doesn't know what the fuck's going on. I would have been there in the first place, mind you. But I mean, the poor guy didn't know what the fuck to do.
Exactly.
And they didn't take any of that account in the fucking court case. They fucking railroaded the guy and he's fucked because of it.
Well, he's literally a political prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like because they wanted to make Charlottesville like this is the symbol of hatred and white supremacy and
yeah,
And it's
all that
fucking
bullshit.
retarded.
Now, I'll be straight up. You know, I do not want to hurt anybody, but at the end of the day, if people are surrounding my truck, I'm not going to intentionally drive into anybody, but if people are surrounding my truck and threatening my life, I'll slow down for them, but they better get out
They
of my
better
way.
get the fuck out of the
Exactly.
way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, hold
my
on.
company sent us a message on the Qualcomm telling us don't stop, just keep rolling, slow down, but just don't stop, just keep rolling through them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because look, hey, communists are not people, so don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
If anyone asks me what was it like to take a human life, I'll tell them I don't know. They were communists.
I don't know. All I killed was
I don't
communists.
know. I've never
Yeah,
killed
who was that? The
communists.
Polish sniper?
Yeah.
That fucking quote.
Oh, that's one of the best
I don't know if I've
quotes
ever killed
ever, though.
communists.
What's it like to kill all these people?
I wanted to
I've
answer
just got a bunch of communists.
Augmented here. He said Second Amendment is for resisting oppressive government, right? Is that what Kyle was doing? No, Kyle was protecting himself from a deadly threat.
Yep.
Which is another
It's so funny.
Actually, the Second Amendment
That
is
guy
for protecting yourself against any threat, including an oppressive government.
Yep.
And it's just a bonus that the people who died were fucking pieces of shit.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't his intention. It was an accident. It was a situation that he was put in, and he had to react to, and it's just good. It's just a good fucking thing that
exactly. Well, it's like
who were attacking him were fucking pedos and wife beaters and fucking convicted felons.
The best take on that was, it's like, how is it that you can like just throw a rock into a random crowd, hit 3 people, and turns out one of them is a pedophile, the other is like armed loser criminal, and then the other one is like a criminal history a mile long, like breaking and entering, just all this shit. Like,
well, remember that
amazing.
crowd wasn't a crowd of fucking average Americans, right?
Well, yeah, they were Antifa. It was like, hey, this is Antifa, and you throw.
How can you throw a rock at them? Sorry, yeah.
Well, it's like you pick 3 of them at random, and it happens to be a pedophile. This dude with like a criminal history a mile long, and then the dude with the gun.
Well, it turns out the most violent ones are all pedophiles, because the guy in D.C. that sucker punched the older guy and knocked him to the ground, that guy turned out to be a pedophile too.
Yep.
Well, the best take was like right after it happened, the media, who of course is always going to come on the side of the other people. It was like the best they had was, oh, his girlfriend, the one, not the pedophile, but the other one that died. It was like, oh, his girlfriend said how much of a great skateboarder he was. And it's like, okay, so if the media, who is already inclined to paint you in the best light possible, the best that they can come out.
He was a good skateboarder.
It's like, he was great at skateboarding, so yeah, fuck Kyle, right?
Yeah.
It's
like
by
those
great at
aspiring
skateboarding,
rappers.
he's great at hitting people with his skateboard.
That's like the aspiring rappers when they talk about,
Yeah.
He was an aspiring rapper.
He had no
he had a
talent.
huge future ahead of him. Like, yeah.
He was a good kid. He just fell in with the wrong crowd.
I was a pretty good skateboarder back in the day, but I didn't destroy my own fucking civilization.
Yeah, I didn't try to smash someone's skull in with the skateboard, so I have that going for me.
Yeah.
But hey, quick update on that link. Apparently Facebook is censoring it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, they work together.
Oh, well, that's shocking.
Yeah, so what's going on with the Chi-Coms? Are the Chi-Coms really the problem that Alex Jones keeps saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're the newest tool of the fucking people who are the real problem. But yeah,
right.
They're the new Soviet Union, the new Axis powers, the new everything.
Yeah. When the Chinese started going like hardcore, we're going capitalism and blah blah blah, we knew who was behind it. Because they were resistant to that. They were filthy commies before, but they were resistant to kind of the globalist thing for a long fucking time. It's why they haven't been dangerous for so long.
Now, but the small hats were there at the start of them becoming a communist country too.
No, I know, but you got to remember that, like, the Chinese weren't kind of secluded for thousands of years because of an accident. It's just it's in their nature. But yeah, when the more kind of outside control that's put on them, the more they're acting like other people. It's not in their nature to be expansionist. They've always been this kind of secluded people, right?
Right.
You gotta remember,
they're the Central Kingdom.
Yeah, they've been invaded more than they've invaded other people.
Check the Zoom chat. I said something very funny.
There's a chat in Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you fucking
believe it or not?
I don't know what
I
that
actually
is.
never look at it either. So.
How do
Jesus. Don't say that out loud.
wait. What's this? How do you see this Zoom chat? What the hell? I'm being excluded here. This is racism.
It's
Hold on.
anti-leafism.
Just look what I wrote about China.
Yeah, let's not say that on air. I like it
So
though.
I mean, if
Here comes my Chinese friend. He's actually Chinese, so if he says it, it's not racist. China fosters very power. Blackbirds smell very stink and nauseous. Wow!
Don't trust China. China asshole.
Little Ping, that was really racist of you. Good thing you're Chinese and not a white guy doing a Chinese person.
That was this Chinese guy passing by that said that.
Yeah, it
wasn't me.
I mean,
Don't trust China. China's asshole.
hey, you know what? We're very inclusive here, and when a random Oriental person comes up, we just let them speak.
Yeah,
this would be funny. If we got
here he comes again. Here he comes again. I just want to
don't tell me to check
everybody.
the fucking. Don't tell me to check the fucking.
Hey, my name.
I'm talking right now.
Don't tell me to check the chat while I'm on stream.
Everybody don't know
Because,
the China
I
government
just
killed
realized that
10,000
was up
people.
on the screen. The whole little comment there. Oopsie.
Tiananmen Square, 10,000 people.
It showed up. It showed up too.
Yeah. Well, oops.
I just saw that.
No. Oh no.
I mean, on my screen it's really tiny. You can't read it, but that's fucking funny.
Yeah, probably everybody else too. You'd have to like really look to see it, but like.
Okay, I just won't share it with Walrus. I'll share it with everybody else.
That's offensive. My neighbor's Chinese. Okay. Today I was out in the yard.
Some of my best friends are Chinese.
Seriously, my Chinese neighbor. We had that tropical storm in this. Well, I forget. You guys are all over the country, but in the south.
We're all over the world, dude.
There was like a tropical storm, and
We rule the world.
It took down a bunch of trees, and like two of their trees, like there's big, massive pine trees, fell down, and they just got them. They got a company to come take them away, and. She was like, "Hey, oh yeah, you have extra." Like we had this plant growing on the side of her house, and she was like, "Oh, could I, borrow? Could I take some of those baby sprouts and put them in the place of these massive trees?" That, like, yeah, sure. So, dug them up for her.
Dude, I have a actually Chinese lady who backs up against my backyard, and she had come over and she was asking me to chop down a tree, and I was like, that tree is tangled up in the fucking telephone wires. I'm not cutting it down, but
she's trying to kill you.
No, she's like,
yeah, so wait, man, go come cut the tree down, go zap it, because gonna be good paper.
The house I bought had been used as a rental for years, so I was like the first family she's probably ever seen actually like living here. And then she sees me like doing stuff in my backyard, like trimming trees and like fixing stuff, and she's like, "Oh, you come here, you cut down tree." Oh, like no.
Fuck you, bitch.
But I was like, I'll fix the fence that the tree's been wrecking though, but don't worry about that. But I'm not. I cut down big chunks of the tree, mind you, but I was like, I'm not getting up there, dude.
That's funny. Well, I was gonna ask our neighbor because I was like, "Hey, I'm sure you guys will have to pay like $800 to get those trees hauled away." I was like, "I'll do it for like $300," but
yeah,
they'd already paid someone. So
my granddad used to raise quail and pheasants, and then he raised hunting dogs. But then he had a kennel on his land because of it, and so he decided he'd do like a dog boarding and grooming service. And he had this Vietnamese guy that used to come.
Oh boy!
Spray out the kennels and shit, and clean out the kennels and shit. And
he's like, good meat. Good meat, this dog.
It wasn't the dog, but pretty close.
It was the person? Oh, God.
No, he had shot a bobcat. Is it?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So
good eating. It's good eating, bobcat.
Even better meat. Oh.
Wait, so he asked my granddad for the bobcat. Oh, can I have it? Sure,
It's
why
like,
not?
why?
Thank you. Very tasty.
No, I'd ask for it.
Very tasty, very tasty. It's kind of funny. You guys have talked to me long enough to kind of get what my personality's like, but I have a. Actually, the house to me now is vacant because the old lady is in a hospice. But on my other side, there's.
Oh no.
On my one side, and she was a nice gal too. She gave me a lawnmower because she got. This is funny because I saw something about a comment like this. She got tired of watching me cut my front lawn with a weed whacker.
That's insane. How could
And
you cut
she
a
gave
lawn
me
with a weed whacker?
Yeah, it's not that big of a lawn. I was cutting it with a push mower, and then I was just like, I don't have time for this shit anymore. So I started using my weed whacker.
Because that takes less
But
time.
the weed whacker was.
How is that faster?
Trust me.
Are we talking
Well,
about a
Walrus
gas-powered push mower or
the
like
science checks-
like an
yeah.
actual?
No, like a mechanical push mower.
The circle
that's
one,
gay.
Dude,
the circular
I've
one where
seen one
no,
of those
no
before,
gas.
but like I've never
Oh,
actually
dude,
used one.
this is the third one I've owned in my life. I love the things, but
So there's no gas. You just push it. It's like
yeah.
It's got the
cylinder one.
little
Oh,
wheel
God.
thing.
It's from the
with
1950s.
blades.
I
You
used to put
gotta
on.
stay up on top of the sharpening though, or else it doesn't work
Oh,
for
fucking
shit.
right.
He's
Anyways,
like, yeah, that's why I went to the weed whacker.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I could see the weed whacker being a better alternative.
The funny part. Oh, you must have not seen that fucking comment then, dude. Somebody had commented about us. Oh, what are you guys going to talk about the time that?
The time that I fucking
yeah.
cut the grass in the backyard with the weed whacker.
With the weed whacker, yeah. So that's all.
No, we're gonna talk about when Air Raid cut the grass with the weed whacker. Thank you very much.
Anyways, I just find it
Get
funny
straight.
that I have directly across from me. I have a old black lady, and I think her son or her grandson looks after her and her yard and shit. And then directly behind me, I have a Chinese lady. And the only people who've called the cops on me have been the fucking white people who live right next to me.
The Karens.
They called them twice. Once because my band was playing at 8 o'clock on a Saturday evening outside. 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You boys are just too damn loud.
Turn that shit down.
And then
We're going to bed in 3 hours. You better tone it down there.
Now,
I'm afraid you gentlemen are just too damn loud.
Yeah, the second one is actually reasonable because the distance from between our houses and shit. But I got the city called on me because of my old Chevy hot rod. Running. I got a notice from the city that I've been running my car without mufflers. And I was like, dude, you got no idea. You got fucking no idea. My exhaust is like fucking non-existent on that car. Header is fucking big block old. Oh fucking yeah. So I'm lucky I only got one fucking call about that one, but I'm just thinking like.
Ooh, yeah. How did the city find out about your mufflers?
Well, no,
Was it the white people.
The neighbor just called.
Probably.
And said, the neighbor called and said,
I'd like to
the
report
volume.
some mufflers that are not up to date.
No, they just got a call and say your car's too loud, and then the city goes, oh, well, clearly they don't have mufflers because your car wouldn't be that loud if you had mufflers.
I mean, if you have the mufflers off like a 4-cylinder and you put them on like a V8, it's probably not going to work.
Now, were they white
No,
or were they white?
No, they're just white. It's funny. The gal's dad was out snowblowing the snowblower because they can't fucking shovel their own goddamn driveway and they need the fucking aged parents to do it for them. And he came over and he started cleaning up the end of my driveway and came over and talked to me. And he's like, "Yeah, my daughter and son-in-law are fucking idiots."
Hey, did you
Hence he's like blowing their liberals for him, yeah.
Do you happen to catch the shape of their nose?
Yeah, no,
Well, they're just liberals,
white.
right?
Yeah,
they're just white liberal morons.
I mean, it's weird how these certain
We touch.
these certain characteristics.
No, we're retards.
Okay.
They don't
You
get
know
that
these
title.
people
No,
are
we're
yeah,
autistic.
You're sir. That's Spurg face, sir. You can't do that.
We are autistic. There's a difference.
I'm sorry, but excuse me, police officer. My neighbor keeps reeing and keeps screaming, "What are you gonna rape me?" I don't know what he's talking about, but please do something about him. What do you do? Rape
talking about these frogs? I don't get it.
I'm
Send a
autistic.
squad car over there. Please
I'm
deal with
trying
this.
to get on SSI. I'm autistic.
I'm autistic.
No, I just find it hilarious that like a bunch of the houses nearby are filled in with fucking East Indian Packy types because they're rentals and shit. So like I just find it funny that the only people I've had any kind of civil conversation with were a fucking Ching Chong lady and a fucking Negro guy, and they're like my best neighbors. And it's me.
Yeah. Well, it's like white people are fine unless they're liberal retards.
Well, there's the lady that lives in your
then they're
basement.
just the
She's
fucking
pretty cool,
worst.
Oh yeah,
Have
well,
you guys, have you guys ever tried to explain the Friends to a normal person?
I don't even bother bringing it up.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't even.
I did
Like-
once, and I had to kill them. So it.
I tried explaining it to my little sister, and she's just like, I mean, she thinks it's cool, but she just doesn't get it.
Dude,
She buys me like she bought me she had a painting made for me, like somebody like painted this Pepe the frog for me. I think I put it on Twitter at some point.
What?
But like, yeah, she bought one, and I've hung it in my room and shit. It's like, so like she's supportive of it, but she doesn't understand it.
Can I just ask how old
Hey,
are you?
Shake entered the chat there on the YouTubes.
She commissioned a painting.
Yeah.
She had like a painter actually paint.
Yeah.
Well, what was
Yeah.
what style of Pepe was it?
Like the classic style.
Nice,
It wasn't
nice.
like an Apu or a.
What was it? Okay. Well, what was it? Was he like a trucker? Was he trucking?
This was before that I was Trucker Friend. This was like 2019.
Dude, we all
Okay.
really need like
a regular
full-scale-
Pepe.
We all
Yeah.
need full scale oil paintings of our fucking our abbeys,
Well,
dude. Like seriously.
Absolutely.
In the ethno state, we'll have a grand museum of all of our paintings.
See, this is why I voted for you. This is exactly why I voted for you, brother.
See, I know
show
what
my
the people
kids,
want.
I show my kids this shit and they laugh at the pictures, but they don't get it and they think I'm retarded. But I'm trying to kind of ease them into the important things in life, like Friends.
But it's such a bigger thing than it's such a bigger thing than I think normal people can understand.
Well, this is the essence of fucking kind of folk culture, right? Like, we're not talking mass culture, we're not talking the civilizational culture, but this is the essence of local folk culture, and we're doing it disconnected in a way. But I mean, like, if we had the Fren town of however many thousand fucking people, would be our output. You know what I mean?
It would
Like,
be.
It's
it
like
would literally
quilting or.
be. It would be like the perfect community, because the mindset of every person in the space is so similar.
Yeah.
That
And it's like,
our core values are the same.
Yeah. You don't have to be buddies. You don't have to be like close friends with everybody. You don't got to go fucking for beers on Tuesday nights with them. You don't have to, have them over for dinner every night. But you know that your neighbor isn't going to steal your fucking lawnmower.
Exactly.
Right? And that's the fucking key that fucking the lefties just do not fucking will never understand. Is that if your neighbor may steal your fucking lawnmower or your bicycle or beat up your fucking kid or whatever, you can't have a properly functioning society.
Yeah. And they don't get it because they usually live in the cities where they're piled on top of each other.
And they don't talk to each other.
Yeah. Or they're in gated communities where they've never actually had to worry about anything. They don't understand how it is in the real world.
And in my opinion, it all goes back to a religious upbringing. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you're super religious or whatever, but you have to have the understanding that there's a higher power.
But I've gotten now. Maybe they did have that concept and I didn't know, but I've gotten along with people who were not necessarily Christian, but they have the same outlook and mentality. And like I said, maybe they were, and they just didn't. I didn't know. And maybe it's just because they had the same Christian upbringing, and they might have liked to say they weren't, but they actually were. But it's, if you have that same thing that we got as kids, then you can function. You can make it work. But if you don't have that, I don't care where it came from. If you don't have that, it doesn't fucking work. It will never ever fucking work.
Right.
Sorry, I'm about beer number 5 here, so
I'm probably not far behind you. Pablo, Trucker 2024, yeah. Did somebody else say that somebody said something in the YouTube chat for me? Or were they talking about something
the D-Live chat, they want you to be mayor of Friendtown. I named it Friendtown, they didn't.
I'm dead fucking serious. If the apocalypse happens, I want us to have our own fucking community somewhere.
Absolutely. I'll be Secretary of Defense.
We're not going to have a choice. If that happens, we're not going to have a choice. We have to.
That's kind of that. I was talking to some other people about this, Alabaster being one of them, and
she's a good girl. Didn't do nothing wrong.
We're not going to be able to survive on our own in that kind of environment.
No, you can do it short term, but it's not a long term solution.
Yeah, while looking for each other to join forces on our journey, separate journeys to find each other, we'll be able to survive. But after that, we have to find each other.
Yeah.
And that's why I made that tweet not that long ago. It says, like, how are we going to find each other? That's something that needs to be at least thought of.
Because that's going to be difficult because they're doing everything. And how are we going to, separate us from
Walrus
the
is going to
feds?
be fucked. Walrus is going to be fucked.
No, he's gonna be in fucking Bulgaria, dude. He's gonna be all right. He's gonna be
You
fucking
guys are
based.
gonna be fucked.
Yeah. He's gonna be sitting around with fucking bunch of Bulgarians just fucking doing Bulgarian shit, and he's gonna be like, all right.
I have a plan with a couple of friends as to, if shit goes tits up, this is where we're meeting. But I think that probably needs to be addressed for, like, everybody needs to get with a couple of other friends that they trust and make that plan.
Dude, shortwave fucking radios. You get radios just in case.
Hey, yeah. Well, All Caps Pupper, he's into that shit.
Because you know what I'm gonna be doing?
Those Baofeng radios any good?
I don't know.
Okay.
See, like, I'm into the CB. I know more about the CB than I do about ham.
Yeah.
The CB is 10 meter, and ham is, I don't know what ham is. 5
high
meter?
altitude, so it goes all over.
And the other thing is, ham radio has a network of, they're called repeaters, I guess.
Yeah.
And basically, you can talk to somebody through all of these repeaters that continually repeat the signal across the country, across the entire world. It's, from what I've heard.
Yeah. I guess I better start looking into a shortwave radio.
Probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I heard you need a fucking permit. Fuck the permit.
Yeah, I've heard the same. Well, technically, my CB is so powerful it's not technically legal, but
Well, I wonder why they want that to be illegal.
hey, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
Michael
with
and
this
Aaron
nanny
left.
state bullshit anyway telling you, oh, you can't fucking... You can't have, communicate with each other and fucking blah,
Well, I heard.
blah,
Okay, one of the rumors I've heard is that if your CB radio is powerful enough, or if your ham's powerful enough, it can literally send out a signal so strong it'll start being picked up by TVs and shit, and your audio from your message will
It will.
Yeah.
If I put an amplifier in my truck for the signal that I have on my CB. Now my CB right now is actually relatively small. It's only like 100 watts.
Yeah.
But you can get amplifiers to go up to 1500 watts. If
Yeah.
I did that, it would bleed through into people's car stereos.
Now, just a little recommendation. If anybody has access and kind of inclination to get books on how to build amplifiers and radios and things, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Anybody who's got a little bit of technical know-how and a soldering iron and some electronic parts can build this shit. It's just something to put in the emergency folder. Like, I'm not saying do this right now or whatever, but it's a good thing to have in the fucking back pocket, right? I remember years ago I had a friend who was kind of getting into this shit, and he built a little amplifier, and it was on a little chipboard about an inch square. A couple little capacitors and a couple little transistors. It's amazing what you can do if you have a couple manuals, and I always recommend people getting books, hard copies of books. Anything you're interested, get a fucking book, put it on the shelf. You don't have to read it today. You don't have to build this shit today, but just, things to think about, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm big into the idea that we need to prepare, especially now. Now, I've always kind of been, the truth is I've always kind of been into the whole prepper thing, but the more and more I get older, the more I think that we really are heading for some serious shit right now. And it's a good idea to do everything that you can to be prepared for that.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Things are about to really come to a head very soon.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And what people got to remember is, and this is, I've done this myself. If things go our way short term, like everything goes okay, Trump gets the fucking presidency, and hey, fuck, maybe he gets another presidency. Maybe he says, fuck it, I'm going for a third one and a fourth one, whatever. That doesn't mean you shouldn't continue getting prepared for shit.
Oh, in my opinion, we're fucked no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
either way.
So things seem to be.
Either way, it's not going to be fucking.
He's definitely better, but he's not. Like, let's not pretend that he's the answer, because.
Exactly.
There's still things going on that.
But once again, if he wins, doesn't mean that the other side suddenly gives up.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
They're not gonna go,
They'll double down.
no shit, you know what? Yeah, he got it. It's okay. It's gonna get fucking.
Our good buddy Tits and Nuggies, if you know him.
Yeah. Yeah, good boy.
Yeah, he said something very intelligent on Twitter. He said, "Bitches be like, are you far left or far right? Bitch, I'm farting."
That's fucking deep shit, man. Like,
all right, I know. That's like me.
How far are you? Farting, buddy.
14.
But like, I was kind of asking. You don't have to answer this, trucker, but I was kind of asking how old you were. But I'm assuming you don't have kids yet.
Oh no, I don't have kids. I'm 22.
Okay, well, let me tell you, dude. Everything that's going on in your brain right now, when you have your first kid, it's like you just hooked up a fucking 10,000 volt, fucking 20,000 volt jumper cable to that shit, dude. When I had my first kid, I turned my front yard into a vegetable garden. I took up blacksmithing. I took up fucking electronics. I did all kinds of crazy shit where I was like, what if everything collapsed right now and I had to support and fucking protect my child with no support from anybody else?
Yeah.
All of a sudden I was buying like hatchets and hand saws and fucking hand drills, like no power, like hand operated tools and shit. So my point being is like, you're on the right track and keep going at it, right? Because you just keep that shit in your head, because you're right. If you live fucking 100 years and you never have to use any of those skills, it still wasn't a waste.
No. The other thing too is that you need to be able to pass that stuff on, because at the end of the day, say shit does go tits up, they need to be able to support their own offspring. So
exactly.
And that's what kind of makes me sad. I mean, in a perfect world, things are, well, no, I'm not going to say in a perfect world, but in an ideal situation for what life is now, things are going to continue on as normal and whatever and all that. And, in say 20, 30 years, in my opinion, we're going to have automated self-driving trucks and shit like that. Well, 20, 30 years from now, my kids are barely going to be coming of age, if I even have any to begin with. They're never going to get to know my trade. They're never going to get to know, they're going to sit back and they're going to say, holy shit, you drove one of those things? But they'll never get to, it's just kind of sad, because, there is a skill to it. There is a skill that a lot of people probably don't understand, and
that's why I don't think we need a great reset. I think, and to touch on the whole nuking the world thing, since I'm sober now and I can elaborate more, I didn't mean for an all-scale and all-out nuclear war. If you've ever seen the movie Dawn's Early Light, and it talks about a very limited nuclear exchange between the U.S. and the Soviet Union during the fall of the Soviet Union. It's a good movie. It talks about like, well, what if there was a nuclear war, but then halfway through, both sides were like, okay, we got to stop this and just cut it off. And that way, it wasn't bad enough to where everyone's economy collapses and the world's over. It was bad enough to where a lot of people died, but America's still America, and the Soviet Union still collapses, things like that. And I was thinking that's probably what we need right now, is some kind of massive, not apocalyptic event, not mass extinction event, but some kind of horrible, like let's say a house-sized meteor lands in fucking out in northern Arizona. So now a bunch of or like let's say Yellowstone goes off. That's not going to end the world. Regardless of what scientists say, it's not going to fucking end the world. We're not going to be thrust into a new ice age because of fucking Yellowstone. I think a Yellowstone eruption
volcano.
Yeah, a Yellowstone eruption wouldn't be. They've gotten smaller and smaller each eruption. I think something like that would be enough to kind of set everyone back, say, 20 years. We need to be set back at least a decade or more.
I think that's what the Armageddon kind of analogy is that it's supposed to be this final battle that sets everything right.
Well, see, that's a reset, though. They're talking about resetting everything back to, like, the dawn of time, to, like, Stone Age. I'm talking about setting us all back. We're in 2020. Let's get set back to, like, 1999 or 1980.
Let's do it. I'm down.
I'd love to go back to the 80s, brothers. It'd be great. It'd be so cool.
What if we, like, reset us all the way back to, like, so we're all Amish?
That would be gay. That would be really fucking gay.
The absolute most important part of any type of great reset is the separation of the communication. We can't have this society where the communication is so free flowing. I know it sounds like a great thing, but the reality is, if you look at things from the 90s and upward, when things started getting so interconnected and we were able to just talk to each other instantly like that, you lose so much of
the struggle.
How do you say
There
it?
needs to be a struggle. It's not a means of. It's not preventing people from accessing certain information. It's just making it harder to get to it. So there's a struggle to get to it. So you.
Well, people are like overloaded
so much good
with
and bad.
information.
Yeah.
Once again,
People
any
can-
kind of. Sorry, go.
I was saying people like have access to like every day we go through more information than most people saw in like a decade.
Walrus probably remembers. Walrus probably remembers. Air Raid, you probably remember too. Back in the days of DSL, when if you wanted to look at naked ladies on the internet, you'd have to wait like a good hour and a half just for one picture to load.
But,
Yeah, I don't know if it was that long.
No, when I got the internet, we didn't have to. I mean, you could go to the local corner store and buy a fucking nudie mag if you're an adult.
True.
So I mean, we didn't.
Oh,
we,
not
I
if you're
couldn't-
under 18.
No, but you could get your hands on them. I mean, a friend of mine.
You still had to go out of your way to do it. You had to go out of your way.
Oh, yeah,
Today,
no,
you don't,
yeah, absolutely,
You don't have to go out of your way anymore, and that's the problem.
But
Yeah,
here's the
it's
thing,
disgusting.
and this is where you're right. It was
Like
like
middle school, and just get all the porn you need.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine like growing up, like being that age and being able to have just like whatever porn you wanted at your fingertips.
Not
like,
good.
Whew.
Pretty much how I grew up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I am the way I am now.
I said this. I've said this before, but like we got the internet in my high school when I was 14. I was in grade 9, and within 5 minutes we were looking up fucking pictures of dead people, and and shiza porn. Okay? Because we'd heard about this.
What
but
is
we hadn't
shiza
seen-
porn?
It's people shitting on each other. It's disgusting.
Okay.
But we.
Then why were you looking at it, Air Raid?
I never looked at that.
Because somebody said it existed, so we had to find
Because
out.
when you're 14, you want to be like,
Dude.
"Ooh, let's look at this."
Yeah, exactly, right?
RateMyPoop.com.
Exactly, but I mean, if there is more access to information and communications, it's that much easier for nefarious people to fucking influence the masses and do dangerous things. Right? Like, it just makes it
Well,
easy.
and they're on like information overload. They don't actually process the information, and it like doesn't
But
make
yeah.
right. So like that's why so many people don't notice patterns that are so
Mhm.
blatantly obvious to us, because they're just bombarded with so much shit. They go into like shock.
Yeah.
You get like
Seriously.
numb to it, you know. You're like,
And you gotta-
dude, they've
you gotta-
like said this forever, like, you know, and then like shit we know is fact. They admit to it. They don't even deny it. People are like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, you know, blah blah blah. Oh, that's crazy talk, you know. Like, but it's fucking real, you know.
It's right there fucking in front of you, dude. But you got to remember that, like, the IQ thing
Join
is
me in my quest to hate women.
the intelligence, IQ, is pattern recognition, right? And you got to remember that
it's how fast your brain can process information.
the average Joe with an IQ of 100 or 110 maybe, they don't process things the way I'm making an assumption here, but you guys all seem pretty smart. Like the difference between 100 IQ and somebody like me who's 145, 150 is and 110 IQ is fucking light years, dude. It's fucking light years.
Yeah.
You have
I'll
no
give you a
fucking
perfect example of this. You're absolutely right. I'll give you a perfect example of this. IQ is a measure of how quickly your brain can process information, in a nutshell.
Yep.
And take the average driver on the road. I see this every day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't react anywhere near as quick. And this is the difference between, you know, like somebody like us who I don't know I forget my exact IQ number, but it's up there. That's the difference between somebody who I can react damn near instantly, whereas all these other stupid idiots in the four-wheelers, they can't. And that's a perfect example of and you see it every day. If you drive any length of time, you'll see just how stupid people really are.
My ex used to get mad at me because I'd be slowing down at random times. She's like, "Why are you slowing down?" And I'd be like, "Because somebody fucking 10 cars up put their brakes on, dude. Don't you see what's going to happen? Like, don't you see what's coming?"
Yeah, I'm going to be prepared.
Now, I've been driving for 20 years, and once again, knock on wood, because it's not all based on what your ability is. But I've been driving for 20 years without a fucking accident.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I've never gotten in a major accident.
And I know people with fucking 20, 30 fucking fender benders and shit. Like, how the fuck are you driving?
Because
like,
they don't pay attention and they don't leave. Like, it's
they
basic
can't
shit.
Foresee.
It's the basic shit. You gotta like leave enough room. Like, people tailgate like fucking crazy.
Why do you
like
leave
that.
room? Why do you leave room? Because you can foresee.
Right. You know how long it takes you to stop. So you got to leave that much room in case you need to stop. That's
I hate when people ride on your ass, and it's tempting to just like slam on the brakes, and just have them crash into you. It's like, oh, okay, hey, that was your fault.
Yep.
What I've always done.
Atlanta area, they do that all the fucking time too.
When they brake check you,
dangerous.
They brake check you thinking that they're going to be able to stop your truck.
Yeah.
That they're going to do anything. They have no idea the amount of weight you're hauling, that you just pushed them out of the way. They didn't do anything to your truck except for maybe minor cosmetic damage. You just have to pull over for legal reasons.
Yeah.
But like,
tailgating on a tractor trailer is extraordinarily dangerous. That
Absolutely.
bumper on the back.
Dude.
That bumper on the back will not always hold.
I stay away from 18-wheelers.
I will tell you that DOT bumper, I forgot who the actress it's named after, because her car went under the back of a tractor trailer and she got decapitated, and she was an actress.
What do you think that bumper's going to go through? What do you think that bumper's going to go through if that fucking truck stops, dude? But I was driving with my ex once, and I had somebody tailgating me fucking hard. And I just let out the gas to slow down, and actually below the speed limit. And my ex was going like, "What the fuck are you doing? They're riding right up our ass, and why are you slowing down?" I said, "Because now, if I hit the brakes and they hit me, we're doing it at 30 kilometers an hour, so like whatever, 20 miles an hour, as opposed to fucking 60 kilometers an hour, which is what 40 miles an hour."
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's actually how we are taught. Technically speaking, we're supposed to slow down if we're being tailgated.
Yeah.
Now, in the real world, I can't really do that all of the time. Sometimes, depending on the situation. But
I usually try to speed away, and I'll speed to get away from somebody who's fucking riding up my ass.
If someone's riding on my ass in the truck, I just keep going to speed, because I'm going to make sure that if they fuck up, they're going to learn their lesson.
They'll learn it once, and that'll be the last time they ever fucking learn anything.
Well, guys,
I'm
we're gonna have to cut this short soon.
65.
68.
Before we cut it,
I think that's 100 and something kilometers an hour, 110. Is that?
All right, gentlemen. I guess Walrus is calling it a night. So I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure getting to talk with a fellow trucker, the trucker friend.
I hope to be able to do it again sometime.
Really cool hearing you.
Anytime.
Like,
it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. I just need you to affirm that I'm not low IQ, because this conversation has been making me question myself.
Not at all. I'm sure that
when I was in high school, some woman came to the school to measure my IQ, and she said I had an IQ of 110. I'm going to tell you right fucking now, that was a goddamn
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, that was a
There's
fucking
nothing
lie.
wrong
What
with
you
that.
say when you get on the scale, when you get a physical, you're like, oh, this scale is just completely broken.
Dude.
I don't know why.
We've talked about this before. There's nothing wrong with 110 IQ. We need street sweepers and ditch diggers.
Yeah.
No, there is something wrong with a 75, 80 IQ.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, when you start getting to the mentally retarded range.
Yeah, Forrest Gump fucking territory. Like,
if you're below 90, then what are you? Why do you exist again?
Well, they say that Forrest Gump was the way he was because they refused to educate him because he was dumber as a kid. But he had a high IQ, but he just never got an education, so he acted retarded because he didn't know any better.
So what you're saying?
None
What
of
you're
you,
saying?
none of you are.
I thought it was for economic reasons. He was just economically depressed. And so.
Economically retarded.
Yeah.
See, there's social retardation, mental retardation, and economical retardation. I'd say probably a lot of us are economically retarded because we don't know how to save our money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am definitely economically retarded.
But you guys, none of you actually did what I asked, and nobody made me feel better. Instead, you just told me that it's that it's okay to be low IQ.
Steve, you were at least 112.
No, you know what's crazy?
Remember.
You guys are talking about below 90, like, oh, whoa, that's so terrible. And you look at some of these national averages of IQs. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Big
Somalia
time.
is like
65 or 67.
63, the average. So that means half is like below, and then half is above, like 63.
I saw
literal
63.
nation
like,
of
you know how many
retards.
people they've shipped in from Somalia, like Minneapolis. Like, hey,
I saw an IQ analysis of medical professionals. So we're talking doctors and surgeons, and GPs, general practitioners, are anywhere from like fucking 90 to 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
So-
the
that could be a
diversity
doctor.
hires.
What-
you know, that's
what I'm saying
that's
is
going on with
what I'm
that.
saying is, Steve, don't feel bad about having a low IQ. You could be a fucking doctor.
It'd be like idiocracy. Like lots of tards live perfectly
No, you can't
normal
because you're probably a
lives.
white male, right? The
All
low
I
IQ
asked-
doctors
all I
are all
asked-
the black women.
Yeah.
Well, all I
Steve,
asked was that you could tell me I'm high IQ.
Just
And-
you are high IQ. You're a smart guy. I know you are. I know
Thank
you
you.
are, dude.
That's all I needed to hear.
But put on some blackface, join medical school, pretend you're a lesbian, and you're in. You're fucking.
Dude, I don't put my race down on any of my internship applications
Oh
or anything
shit!
like that.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt, dude.
All right, I'm about to do this chest here in a minute.
All right, checking out.
Arid,
Oh,
really quick.
it
I
took
want
me
to-
like-
I see you uploaded a video here on Twitter of some guy playing the guitar.
Some moron.
Yeah,
I have no
fucking
idea who
retard.
that is. Must a mystery mystery.
Some
guy. I
moron.
don't
He's
know.
some dude.
Absolute fucking chip tooth retard.
He's
I
just
mean-
some dude.
Look at that chip in his tooth.
Yeah,
It took me like 15 minutes to get my avatar up to actually show on the Zoom.
Mine still fucking won't, dude.
Which was really fucking annoying. I had to Google it, and it took me like 15 minutes.
So apparently, with an IQ of 110, I have superior intelligence.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, with your superior intelligence, you haven't
To
been able
who?
to get your avatar up, so there.
Superior to who?
Yeah, that's because I'm using a different computer right now.
Okay,
And not my
blame
Zoom
the computer. Your computer has a IQ of Somalia.
You're Somalian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get the hell out
collect
of here.
rewards. I want my shekels. I want my lemon shekels.
Take it easy, guys. Have a good night.
We'll give you lemon shekels. Adios.
Have a good
fellas.
night.
All right, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
All right,
night.
boys. It's been swell. Awesome talking to you, trucker.
Yeah,
White
good
power.
talking.
I had great fun. I hope to come back and do it again.
Oh, you better.
Awesome. Please do.
All right, good night, everybody.
And the Gibbs were at. Aaron is the big winner with 6.4 shekels. Murray Curlin with 4.1 shekels. Roy Patterson with 3.2 shekels. Ray Siren with 2.7. And the lady in the basement with 2.5.
Hold on, guys. I gotta fix my fucking name on. Oh.
Hank
Okay,
Getter owes
sorry.
me 2.5 fucking lemons. She stole them. Those my shekels. Them are my shekels.
I don't know, bud. You might have to fight her for it.
No problem. All right, I'm going to play some pool, boys. Have a good evening.
All right, Joe.
All
I'm
right,
going
good
to
night.
go put on a movie and try to sleep. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Until tomorrow.
sugar inside really happy right now. He said he's gonna quit his job, but I'll change somehow. But I ain't gonna be here long. Not after it, I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, long. Ain't gonna be here long. My lungs are all filled with smoking THC. So every time I get to laughing, I start to cough and wheeze. Yes, I do. If I didn't have my cigarette, I'd kill someone. Then it wouldn't matter that the state of Texas won't let me get none. I ain't gonna be here long. Not after it, I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, long. Ain't gonna be here long. But my heart it sure ain't pumping like it used to do. Lord knows I bump a leg and it turns black and blue. Yes, it does. Now they say that it's unhealthy the way that I live. My liver's gone, my lungs are shot, my heart's about to give. But I ain't gonna let that bother me, no. So I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna let that bother me, none, oh Lord. So I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna be here